Day 3 continues here at the Division II Baseball National Championship. 7 teams still in the hunt. It's time for our first collision of teams that won on day 1. The Sea Lions of Point Loma, the Mule Riders of Southern Arkansas. One of these two teams will have an inside track to being national champion here in 2022. Off to a 2-0 start. Lincoln Rose, Joe Castellano with you. And Joe, it was Point Loma in that nightcap back on Saturday, 8-1 victors over the Prairie Stars of UIS. We saw those Prairie Stars pack their bags heading back to the land of Lincoln after they were the first team eliminated earlier today against Rawlins. Rawlins, a team that Southern Arkansas handed a loss to 3-1 in our very first game of the week. As Wyatt Marr will get the starting nod for Southern Arkansas. They flipped a coin. Southern Arkansas will be your home team here in this contest. And one of these two teams will improve to 2-0. The other one will suffer its first defeat this week here in Cary.
The Mule Riders are hoping that Marr can pitch as well as their Game 1 starter did, Jeremy Adorno. Remember, he went all the way in that complete game in the 3-1 win against Rawlins.
Otto Kemp set to lead things off. Otto 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a pair of RBI for Point Loma in that opening victory against Illinois Springfield. What can he do for an encore here? Marr on the mound out of the Dallas area from Frisco, Texas. Actually started his career at North Greenville University, one of the schools that is here this week. The actual #1 seed. As Point Loma the 2 seed, Southern Arkansas the 3 seed. No surprise they collide here on this third day in Cary. Kemp, first team all-conference out of Fullerton, California. And Joe, we mentioned how successful he was the other day. He has still reached base every single game in 2022. Otto Kemp has, the sophomore for Point Loma, now in 57 ball games.
It's amazing.
3-0. 1 pitch away from making that 58 ball games.
Whoever wins this game is going to get 2 days off. The loser is going to have to play in a couple of days on Wednesday against Rawlins.
"58 games on the schedule, 58 games in which Otto Kemp has had a chance to run the bases. You just assume it's a streak that'll end.
It might not.
Leadoff walk to Otto Kemp. And nothing that he ever was tempted to take that bat off his back shoulder for. A 4-pitch walk.
Marr is the guy who's not going to throw that hard. He's more of your crafty lefty who has to hit his spots.
Here's Scott Anderson, who was a modest 3 for 5 back on Saturday, with a run scored. Came into this week hitting .311 on the year with 9 home runs, 46 RBI. Comes up here with a runner on and nobody out. That one in the dirt, but Mcgee able to keep it in front of him. Brett Mcgee, your catcher for Wyatt Marr, who gets the start. Infield, Brandon Nickel, Riley Orr, Chris Sutton, and Jacob Machuca from third to first. Outfielders Chris Lyles, Ty Manning, and Connor Allen. Left field, center field, and right field, respectively. On deck behind Anderson, it's going to be Baxter Halligan, the DH. Right now, 1 on, nobody out after the leadoff walk on 4 pitches to Otto Kemp. A 1-1 count to Anderson.
You know what's interesting is that Marr is getting the pitch call from the dugout. He doesn't look into the catcher to get the sign. He looks into the dugout to Justin Pettigrew, the head coach, who was a pitching coach before he was the head coach, and he gets the sign that way and then looks down at that forearm band.
High chopper, looking for the lead out. Chance for 2. They'll settle for 1. As Otto Kemp forced out at second, Anderson reaches on the fielder's choice. 1 away.
Not hit hard enough to turn two. Nickel took his time, made sure he made a good throw down to second. They tried to turn it.
Gives way to Baxter Halligan, who, like Anderson, was 3 for 5 on Saturday with a run and 2 RBI. Halligan had an RBI single in the first as a part of a 3-run first inning for Point Loma. Something they would love to replicate here. Point Loma scored 4 through the first 2 innings, settled in with a 4-1 lead before piling on 4 runs late to put the ball game away against UIS.
So it's funny when you say Marr is looking in, he's not looking in for the sign. When he looks at the catcher, he's looking in for a target, but that's it. It's definitely different.
At which point he already has the sign.
Yeah, he's getting it right now. Then he looks down. What am I throwing? Where am I throwing it?
This is a new age windup we're seeing.
Looks like an NFL quarterback with all the plays on a card there on his forearm.
He's up against Baxter Halligan, the first-team All-American, in a hole with an 0-2 count. Halligan lays off that one. Halligan pitched back on Saturday, just swinging a bat here today. Everybody's getting signs. I think they're all getting them from the same dugout.
Well, you can't steal signs really anymore if you're leading at second base because the catcher isn't putting any down.
Runner on first is Scott Anderson after the fielder's choice. Halligan punches this one foul.
I guess you could steal him from the dugout if you could figure out what the head coach is doing as far as his signal. But it's not 1 is a fastball, 2 is a curve kind of sign. It's got to be more sophisticated than that.
Again, the base runner Anderson's looking for his own signs at the coach at third, who has the sun setting behind him. 1 out, 1 on. The 1-2 from Marr. Got Halligan. That's a big out. Retires the first-team All-American. Now 2 away.
The right fielder, number 20, Hunter.
Your base runner Anderson looks over to third to get his own calls, then looks down to his belt buckle. Hunter Ochin also looking in that direction. Ochin grew up in the backyard of Point Loma in San Diego, went to Point Loma High. Trying to extend this inning. First pitch strike from Wyatt Marr.
There's the routine again. He always grabs dirt in both hands in between each pitch. Although he's not jumping up and down like he did in the last game. Oh, here he goes with his, well, we didn't see it on the camera, but he pounds his right hand into his leg and then his helmet.
Of all of our players this week who have mohawks, he's your favorite.
There's the jump. Now watch what he does here. He's looking at the sign first.
He's shy.
Then he wants to make sure he really gets it, pounds his helmet, and then he does more.
Has the dirt been incorporated yet?
Yeah, he does that first.
Runner on first, Anderson, now with 2 outs. So this inning began with Otto Kemp, a 4-pitch walk. But so far, 2 batters later, 2 outs later, and nobody's been able to advance a runner to scoring position. That's Anderson, who replaced Kemp on the fielder's choice. The 1-1 pending to Hunter Ochin. Ochin batting .330 coming into this week with 11 home runs, 45 RBI. Punch right side. Again, the shift was on, and they'll throw it away. Scott Anderson goes from first to third. You had your second baseman, Chris Sutton, almost behind the base.
A good throw would have had him, so I would imagine
It's
that.
going to be a single and then an error allowing the runner to move to third.
Wow. To me, a good throw would have had him here. And that's a terrible throw. To me, that's just a straight error, not a base hit.
And I think they have changed that. Nope, it is going to be a single and an error for the extra base.
Yeah, I disagree with that one, but now it's extra base to go to third base there, yeah.
So here's Jacob Christian. Runners on the corners. Still a chance for the Sea Lions to strike here in the first inning. Wyatt Marr just needs that elusive third out. Christian, your freshman of the year and first team all-conference, another San Diego native for Point Loma. In their conference, the Pac West Conference. 2 pitches, 2 strikes. Anderson reached on the fielder's choice. Moved all the way from first to third on that ball hit into play by Ochin. The 0-2. Yeah, so 8 innings from now, if Wyatt Marr has only given up 1 hit, then we can start diving into whether or not that should have been scored.
Right.
A base hit. But for now, we'll just see if it remains a shutout. Sea Lions on the corners. Point Loma looking for its 50th win on the year. Did Christian lay off? He did.
That was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. His bat didn't go around. His left hand looked like it went around without the bat, so that's not a swing. But look at his left hand. I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, that's not a swing because the bat didn't go. I've never seen that in my life.
Reminder, our live coverage of Division II cricket also streaming at the moment. Runners on the corners, the 2-2. They'll do it again.
That's taking the, I think it was Walt Riniak or Charlie Lau, one of those hitting instructors that was famous. It's taking it to an extreme. They would say, you know, take your top, or one of your hand, your top hand off the bat when you swing. In that case, he took his bottom hand off the bat. That was bizarre.
2 on, 2 out, still scoreless. Top half of the first. Marr a pitch away from getting out of the inning. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Wyatt Marr. The punctuation on the threat from Point Loma. They'll strand 2, including 1, 90 feet away. It's a winner's bracket clash in Cary. And it's time for the Mule Riders to saddle up and bring their bats in the bottom of the first. Despite a leadoff walk and ultimately getting a man over to third, Sea Lions unable to plate a run, so no lead for Jack Gonzalez in his start here in the second game of the week for Point Loma. Gonzalez, the grad student out of Oceanside, California, makes his 16th appearance, all of them starts. He's 9-1 this year with a 3.57 ERA. He faces Chris Sutton, who leads things off for Southern Arkansas. Gonzalez already one no-hitter on the year. It was the 7-inning variety, lots of double headers in conference play. But he struck out 15 batters in those 7 innings, retiring 21 of 22 batters he faced, just walking 1 base runner, otherwise an abbreviated perfect game. Chris Sutton, the sophomore out of Wake Village, Texas. I mentioned how Austin Baker had been the leadoff hitter for 4 years at Southern Arkansas, the All-American and second baseman. Well, Sutton's filling both roles, both at second and in his leadoff spot this year, and very much making it his own with great success. Sutton ultimately was 1 for 4 in that victory against Rollins, hitting .312 coming into today. And shoots this out to center. That's Isaiah Alvarez patrolling center field for the Sea Lions. He's got it. He's flanked by Jack Malone and Hunter Ochin in the outfield. Eastern Waterman's your catcher. Your infield from left to right, Otto Kemp, Scott Anderson, Jason Dumont, and Jacob Christian. Surrounding Jack Gonzalez.
Number 32, Brett Mcgee.
And with Sutton retired, gives way to Brett Mcgee, who is also 1 for 4 back on Saturday. McGee, first team all-conference this year in the Great American Conference. Already has the career walks record for Southern Arkansas. That was a record that was previously held by shortstop Riley Orr's dad, Jonathan Orr. Played back in the mid-90s.
This team as a whole walks a lot. They average 6 walks a game to lead the nation.
Gonzalez, the lefty. Again, Point Loma a year ago finished their season 11-21. They found their 49th win of the year on Saturday. So already an improvement of 38 wins from a year ago. Of course, last year was an abbreviated season where they basically beat up on each other with a few other conference opponents. This year, we're able to expand their competition, which included a former head coach of theirs who we saw last year here out of Northwest Nazarene, and Coach Joe Schaefer and his Nighthawks. The 3-1 to McGee. And he continues to add to his own walks record. The pride of Pittsburgh, Texas is on.
Now batting third baseman, number 7, Brandon Nickel.
So 1 on, 1 out for Brandon Nickel.
The Mule Riders are another one of those teams that we've talked about that's averaging over 10 runs a game this season. But they didn't do a whole lot in their first game. They won it 3-1 on a 3-run homer by Connor Allen in the second, and they virtually did nothing the rest of the game offensively.
Pitch in there to Nickel for a strike from Gonzalez. Well, my guess is somewhere within the Mule Riders' possession is a bucket with 2 marbles in it. They have had a take on a story, a tale where an older gentleman in his 70s, no offense, Dad, had basically about 1,000 marbles in a bucket, figuring had about 1,000 weekends left in his life. Each weekend would remove a marble, dispose of it, making sure they would appreciate how much time was left. Well, for their take in baseball, had as many marbles as guaranteed games left. So if you arrive in Cary, you're guaranteed 2 games.
Huh.
Well, they won the other day, so still should be a couple marbles left. Now, obviously, it's more of a visual earlier in the year when you're guaranteed about 40 plus.
So are you telling me they're trying to play for all the marbles on Saturday?
They would like to still have all the marbles at that point.
Hopefully we still have all our marbles left by then.
You and I have done well in these double elimination formats. Brett Mcgee, the walk a moment ago. And the southpaw Gonzalez out of the stretch. Got him. Just so hard to lay off. You think you see it so well.
Now batting first baseman, number 9, Jacob Mcgee.
Brandon Nichols, 6'1". He's probably playing on the basketball team if that's a strike.
Just went after a high pitch right there.
Here's the freshman, Jacob Machuca. Your first baseman for Southern Arkansas. Right side, but because he was holding the runner on, Jacob Christian is right there. So both teams get a free pass but can't capitalize. We are scoreless after 1 between a couple of squads that picked up victories on Saturday. One of them will improve to 2-0. Point Loma among the two teams tonight, pursuing a second win through 2 games here at the NCAA Division II Baseball Championship in Cary, North Carolina. Lane Rose, Joe Castellano. Joe, we have already lowered 1 flag on the flagpoles out there, but that's all we have the stomach for today.
We'll do it again tomorrow, though.
As Easton Waterman leads things off by dropping in a base hit in left center. Second straight inning, the Sea Lions able to get their leadoff man on. And second hit of the day for Point Loma.
Now, hitting has not been a problem for the Sea Lions here in this tournament. They had 11 hits in the first game. They've already got 2 tonight.
Left fielder, number 5, Jack Malone.
That'll give way to Jack Malone, the freshman out of Phoenix. Your center fielder for the Sea Lions. Point Loma stranded runners on the corners last inning. He squares around a bunt. And Wyatt Marr getting the start here in the second game of the week. And that one ripped into right. But it'll get out to Connor Allen so quickly. No chance for Waterman to consider moving on to third. You've got back-to-back singles. 2 on with nobody out.
Now Malone all over that pitch. Just drilled it into right field.
We talk about this generation looking down at their devices, and I know we're guilty of it as well, but this game's a little different. Everybody's looking down at their belt buckles as both offense and defense at the same time are all getting their signs and then reviewing their little cue cards. Well, they didn't have to sacrifice bunt with Malone, so now your 8-hitter Dumont is willing to give himself up perhaps. Dumont, third-team All-Conference out of Portland. That's Portland, Oregon. I know we have some athletes this week from Portland, Maine. Dumont's a .238 hitter coming into this week. As that bunt, let it go foul, sure. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good move by Nickel. Well, Marr, he did not pitch well in his last start, even though it was a win for Southern Arkansas against Augustana in the Super Regional, and he had a no decision in that one. He gave up 10 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned in 4 2/3 innings, so he wasn't coming in hot, and Point Loma has been on him a little bit here in the first 2 innings.
Second straight inning, they've had multiple base runners, this time with nobody out. Back-to-back singles from Waterman and Malone. Dumont still has the luxury of squaring around. Let's see if that is the indication from his coach, Justin James. Marr's ready. Runner on second, Waterman sneaks into your picture. Malone's over on first. First baseman Machuca is cheating in on the infield grass, waiting for a bunt. Not gonna come. Sea Lions are going to hold up the runner. Bases loaded. Looked to be the right decision. Ty Manning got it back in quickly. Justin James immediately threw up the stop sign. So Waterman to third, Malone to second. Bases are loaded with 3 straight singles. Nobody out.
Yeah, that's a good call by the third base coach because that ball was hit hard. That was smoked up the middle, and with nobody out, you really don't want to take any chances there. You have a chance for a big inning, so don't try to send that runner there.
So Jason Dumont joins in on the fun. Here's your 9-hitter, Isaiah Alvarez, and now it's not as simple as just squaring around a bunt. There's a force at home. Got to be careful. Senior swinging away, pulls it foul.
Well, I think the first thing he's trying to think is, I need to hit something in the outfield, either a base hit or a fly ball to score a run. The outfielders are playing pretty shallow. So if he hits just a lazy fly ball out there, I mean, they're set up to try to make a play at the plate on Waterman, a catcher who's not the fastest runner on the team.
Waterman on third, Malone on second, Dumont on first, nobody out. Alvarez, the fourth batter this inning, your 9-hitter. Punches it the other way. This should score one. As Allen makes the catch, headed towards foul territory. And a sacrifice fly from Isaiah Alvarez. Finally, the first out recorded by Southern Arkansas, but Point Loma takes a lead as Waterman comes home. Malone now on third.
That was hit in a good spot. It made Allen have to go to his left quite a bit, and then he had to wheel around to throw in. Because as I mentioned, it's not the fastest runner on the team. And they might have had a play on him, if not for the fact that Allen wasn't in a position to make that throw all the way to home plate.
Only Jason Dumont could not advance over there at first. Otto Kemp saw 4 pitches in the first inning and walked. See if he sees his first strike from Marr here.
Dipping down that time, a little sidearm action.
Kemp, who has already reached base here today, continuing his incredible streak. Three singles and a sac fly. 2-0.
Man, 6 balls that he's seen.
Scott Anderson on deck. Anderson 9 home runs on the year. Kemp at the plate has 16 home runs this year. It's a potent bat at the top of the order. One away. Punch right side, it continues. Sea Lions have insurance. RBI single, your 4th single of the second inning. Otto Kemp brings Jack Malone home.
And that's what happens when you fall behind a hitter like Kemp. And he's going to be looking for his pitch. He's not going to swing at anything else. And he gets one out over the middle of the plate where he can just go the other way with it.
This is the second straight game in Cary. Otto Kemp hasn't just reached base, but he's reached base twice in the first 2 innings.
And that's what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do. And you wonder how long do the Mule Riders and head coach Justin Pettigrew, how long do they stick with Wyatt Marr? Because he just doesn't look like he has it. And they're starting to get a pitcher loose in the bullpen already.
I believe it's Jack Liddell warming up. The Canadian who ate a lot of innings, both midweek starter role as well as a reliever this year.
There he is.
Jack, a junior out of Mississauga, Ontario. But for now, it's Wyatt Marr looking for that second out. The only out so far, a productive one, a sac fly from Isaiah Alvarez, followed by the RBI single from Otto Kemp. So Scott Anderson launches this one to left center. That ball carries to the warning track. Sea Lions will add to their lead. A play at the plate coming up, and the ball comes loose. It's a 2-run double for Scott Anderson, the first extra base hit in this 4-run inning. Dumont scores easily, and Otto Kemp, with that ball coming out of the glove, makes it 4-0.
But Kemp would have been dead at the plate if the catcher Mcgee could hang on to it, but he just couldn't. That ball was smashed by Anderson. Short hopped the wall out there. And then on this relay throw from Manning, the center fielder, hitting Orr, the cutoff man, and the shortstop made a really good throw. It's one of those deals where the catcher Mcgee tried to swing over to his left, and when he tried to make the tag, the ball came out of his mitt.
So again, they already have action in the bullpen, and now a slow walk out to talk to Wyatt Marr.
Wow.
Another look at what likely should have been out number 2 at the plate to keep it a 3-run inning.
I mean, this is how you're supposed to play it. You know, I don't know if he would have been out. It looked like he was sliding across the plate anyway.
You're right.
Yeah. I think the problem there for Mcgee is that he started out in good position, but when he went to try to make the tag, he was trying to make that tag over home plate instead of in front of it on the third base side. That's where you make the out. But he's trying to slide and make a sweep tag across the plate, and that's going to be too late. But the throw is perfect. I mean, that was a really good throw by Riley Orr.
Even when that ball came out, I don't think anybody was convinced that Kemp had touched home. Even Kemp himself, after the ball trickled away, went back over to home and touched it just in case. So we're back to Baxter Halligan, who last inning struck out for the second out of the inning.
The two-way player who was the starting pitcher in Game 1 for Point Loma.
It's a 5-hit inning for Point Loma. 4 singles, but a moment ago a double from Scott Anderson. Your only base runner is Anderson on second, and he'll stay there. 2 away. Eighth batter of the inning, Hunter Ochin. You see Jacob Christian on deck. He would be your 9th hitter this inning, after he was the last batter last inning. Ochin officially a single in the first when he took advantage of a second baseman who had shifted out of position. Where Sea Lions stranded 2 runners last inning. Well, they've made up for lost time here. Point Loma's already matched the 4 runs they put up in the first 2 innings back on Saturday.
When I'm watching Ochin up there in his routine, my body parts are getting sore. I mean, the way he slams his helmet, slams the leg. Ow! I mean, that hurts.
I question your commitment, Joe. Runner on second with 2 outs. 4 runs have scored in the second. The 0-2 to Ochin. This should do it. Ty Manning in center. He's got it. But it's a 5-hit inning for Point Loma after stranding 2 in the first. Sure, they'll strand 1 more in the second, but not before they plate 4 and take a lead over Southern Arkansas. Glass half full for the Mule Riders. Southern Arkansas, your home team in this one, as we move on to the home half of the second. Sea Lions find 4 in the top of the second, so Jack Gonzalez on the mound with his first lead to work with against the Mule Riders. Ty Manning comes up for the first time. So Point Loma's lineup has already come up 1.5 times so far. We're just now to the 5 spot here for Southern Arkansas, who brought 4 to the plate after a walk in the first, but a runner left on. Jack Gonzalez has a little breathing room. They're not going to need another no-hitter from him today. Funny, it's a staff that has 2 pitchers with no hitters, but neither was the All-American Baxter Halligan. So you knew Point Loma felt pretty good with what they had coming in this week. And Manning down on strikes, 1 away.
Yeah, Gonzalez and Dylan Miller with no hitters. When you're pitching with a 4-0 lead, all you do is throw strikes. I mean, you just don't worry about giving up a hit here or there. And he threw 3 strikes in a row to Manning.
Here's Tucker Burton, 2nd team All-Conference, 2nd team All-Region. It was his bottom of the 9th home run against Henderson State that beat them 12-11 to advance Southern Arkansas to the Super Regionals. It's after they beat Henderson State by a more modest score of 28-5 in the first meeting. And, of course, that Augustana Super Regional in which the Mule Riders swept the former national champion Vikings from South Dakota. Oh, 2 over to the right side, Dumont. 2 away.
6 pitches in this inning, all strikes for Gonzalez.
Yeah, having a 4-run lead, this is what you beg your pitchers to be willing to do, and that is trust your defense rather than trying to paint the edges of the plate.
And it's a really good defense that Point Loma has. In fact, their fielding percentage leads the nation, .982. They've made the fewest errors in the country at 34. They have not had a miscue so far here in Cary.
Chris Lyles at the plate for the first time. Your 7-hitter in this lineup today for the Mule Riders. Lyles on the all-tournament team for the Great American Conference Championship as the Mule Riders began their postseason, sweeping their way through those 4 games on into the NCAA tournament. That's a conference that includes teams like Arkansas Tech, Ouachita Baptist, Henderson State, all from the Natural State. The 1-1. Got his bat around on that one. Otto Kemp across the diamond. Jack Gonzalez takes the mound with a 4-run lead. Faces 3 batters. Retires 3 batters. And the Sea Lions can now hunt for more. Already up by 4.
A 1-2-3 inning. Mule Riders.
7 of the 8 poles out there have flags. 1 is missing. Why? Well, Illinois Springfield was eliminated earlier today, so their flag was pulled down. We have 2 teams here that don't have to worry about elimination today. Point Loma and Southern Arkansas, they both won their first game. Here in their second game of the tournament, it's 4-0 in favor of Point Loma as they come to bat in the third with Jacob Christian leading it off. Alongside Lincoln Rose, I'm Joe Castellano. Delighted to have you with us every day here on NCAA.com. We've got these double headers every day as we work towards the championship on Saturday. Long way to go to get there. Christian struck out his first time up 0 for 1. Point Loma certainly looking great with 12 runs scored in this tournament in the first 2 games, and we're still early in their second game. They won their first one 8-1 against Illinois Springfield, and they put up 4 runs in the last inning against Wyatt Marr.
North Greenville's your number 1 seed. After that, these 2 teams, Point Loma the 2 seed, Southern Arkansas the 3. Really, seeding doesn't matter for the rest of the week. It just helped determine home team and matchups that first day, as well as yesterday. But since both of these teams were home teams in their wins, they did have to flip a coin. That went the way of Southern Arkansas here today.
And so far, the most productive offenses have been Point Loma, of course, and Angelo State. They put up 7 runs yesterday. They had a lot of stolen bases on their scorecard. 3-1 now to Christian. Marr had a walk in the first, left a couple of men stranded, but then it was a 5-hit inning in the second inning, and the 4 runs came in. 3-1 to Christian. Hit in the air to left field, way up in the sky. Settling under it is Lyles. Back now on the warning track. Has to leap at the wall and makes the catch. Wow, that thing was hit way up. And it just kept going, but not far enough to get out. And Lyles did a nice job.
Well, to Lyles' credit, he got to the wall first so that then he could make the adjustment. And he deserves to have a big smile.
I mean, I don't think anybody thought that was going out when it left the bat, but it just kept going a little bit there. And then he had to jump up by the yellow line.
What I like is, yeah, that's several feet shy, but he knows to get on the highlight show. He then has to bring his glove to the top of the wall.
Yeah, to make it look like he robbed
a
home run.
Michael Jordan Birmingham Barons diving catch. Catch the ball, then slide. Oh, great play.
Well, that just shows you how strong Christian is, because he hits a fly ball, and it just keeps going. It had a trajectory to it that it made it all the way to the wall. Here is Waterman with a count of 2-0. He singled and scored in the second inning. 2 for 4 in the tournament so far for the Point Loma catcher.
Southern Arkansas really needs Wyatt Marr to get settled in here. They don't want to go to that bullpen.
Called strike, 2-1.
You know, if this is one game on the weekend, sure, but again, this is a marathon this week.
Mars already had to throw 45 pitches. We're only in the third inning. Line drive, center field base hit. Waterman again with a base hit to center. The second time he's done that. 2 for 2. And that's 7 hits already for Point Loma.
Well, Waterman had the first of the 5 hits last inning, leading off the second inning. He would then be the first of 4 men to score.
Now Jack Malone, the number 7 hitter. I mean, these balls have been hit hard. Malone 1 for 1, the single to right field in the second. And he takes a called strike, 0-1. Malone hitting at 273 on the year right now. Waterman held at first base by Machuca. Not a base stealer over there. Popped in the air, left field near the line. Lyles coming over in foul territory. He's got it. Back to first goes Waterman. 2 down.
Waterman had gone all the way down to second. Had to retreat back.
Now batting the second baseman, Jason Dumont.
Jason Dumont comes up, the switch hitter, batting right. 1 for 1, a single and a run scored in the second for the Point Loma second baseman. Got off to a slow start this year with a bat, but about 2/3 of the way through the season, Dumont picked it up, and he's been swinging it better. There's a sidearm delivery from Wyatt Marr. Misses for a ball, 1-0. You mentioned that Marr is the North Greenville transfer. That would be interesting if somehow Southern Arkansas were to play North Greenville in the championship and Marr would be involved somehow. That would be pretty interesting. In the dirt, gets behind the catcher Mcgee, and on to second goes Waterman on the wild pitch.
If you're Marr, you can still just focus here on Dumont. Just need that final out.
Boy, it feels like Southern Arkansas, their players have been out in the field forever. They've had to stand out there. I'm not totally convinced that's a wild pitch because it looked like he should have been able to get his mitt on that. But didn't get the official ruling. 2-0 pitch. In the dirt now, there's a good block by Mcgee. 3-0 to Dumont. Alvarez on deck. Point Loma, they have been very hot. They've won 11 of their last 12 games. The one loss in there was when they lost one in the Super Regional. Pitch is low for a ball. They swept through the West region, the regional, and then in the Super Regional, as we got ball 4 there, they had the 2 wins out of 3 against Azusa Pacific to get here. So Dumont with the walk, first and second, 2 down.
Yeah, they beat Azusa Pacific the first game 8-7. Saw the second game slip away 2-7.
Second walk for Marr. Now here's Isaiah Alvarez, who had a sac fly and an RBI in the second. The bottom of the order has come through. I mean, 6, 7, and 8 all scored runs in the last inning, and they all had base hits. And then this man, number 9 in the order, drove in the run, as I mentioned, with a sac fly.
Yeah, that got the first of the 4 runs across. 6 different Sea Lions have base hits already in this ball game.
That pitch misses for a ball, 2-0. What's scary for opponents of the Sea Lions is that They're known more for their pitching. Let's take a look at this. And what's going on with Mar just missing all over, mostly low. But the Sea Lions, I think it's scary for opponents that, they have really good pitching, yet their offense has been great so far in this tournament.
It's a big gap on the right side.
3-0 to Alvarez. So that's 7 straight balls by Mar.
There you see the second baseman playing at second, holding the runner, while also part of a shift. If Alvarez saw something that he could punch to the opposite field, might even have a chance of scoring a teammate here with 2 outs.
3-0 to Alvarez, taking, and there's a strike finally. Otto Kemp is on deck, back at the top of the order. 4 runs and 7 hits so far for Point Loma. Waterman leading at second, Dumont at first. There's a strike, 3-2. So now the runners will go on this pitch with a full count and 2 down. Just a little breeze blowing from right to left. Very comfortable weather throughout the day. Runners go, 3-2, low ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks for Mar.
Well, that's back-to-back walks with 2 outs. That allows the top of the order to come up. Here's the sequence.
Everything's missing low. Now has 3 walks in the game, and that one outside. Finally got a couple of strikes, but eventually the walk, and now this might be the hook, as Coach Pettigrew may have seen enough from Wyatt Mar after 2 2/3 innings. And he is going to make the pitching change. 4-0 Point Loma, looking for more in the 3rd inning on NCAA.com. Well, Jack Liddell comes out of the bullpen for Southern Arkansas, 4-2 record, 6.21 ERA. In his 33 1/3 innings, he's given up 38 hits. He has walked 16, struck out 20, and comes in after Wyatt Mar threw 58 pitches, 31 for strikes, 27 balls. It's almost as many balls as strikes, as he walked 3 in 2 2/3 innings, gave up 4, and still responsible for the 3 runners on base here. 7 hits allowed by the starter Mar. And you got the bases loaded for Otto Kemp, the leadoff hitter, takes a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, we've seen the Canadian pitcher really eat some innings this year, both as a midweek starter as well as a reliever.
From Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, not far from Toronto. Kemp takes, and it's 1-1. He is 1 for 1 an RBI single and a walk. So 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs for the leadoff man in this tournament. He's got Waterman at third, Dumont at second, and Alvarez at first with 2 down. Liddell deals, hit in the air right field. Going back on it, Allen, and he makes the grab to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The bases left loaded, 6 left on. But Point Loma comfortably in front early, 4-0 over Southern Arkansas on NCAA.com. Bottom of the 3rd inning we go. It's 4-0 in favor of Point Loma. They had the one frame there where they scored 4, and that's been it in this game. Connor Allen to lead it off. He had quite a first game. Hit a 3-run homer at the plate. Made a diving catch out in the outfield. So he was one of the stars for Southern Arkansas in their opening win against Rollins. And here he is batting for the first time today. Takes low for a ball from Gonzalez, 1-0.
Joe, Otto Kemp for Point Loma has batted 3 times today.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just seeing the bottom of the order for Southern Arkansas.
Yeah, if you're tracking time of possession, it favors Point Loma. Allen hitting .303, takes high for a ball, 2-0. He has 11 homers. That 11th homer hit over the left field wall the other day. 37 RBIs for Allen.
Again, it could be a lot worse. Quite a few runners left on base by Point Loma.
They left 6 on. Bouncing ball over third, foul balls. It's gloved by Kemp. Well, that's the thing. You can really blow a game open, but when you leave 6 men on base in the first 3 innings, then you kind of leave the door open for Southern Arkansas to come back. Allen, the junior from Plano, Texas, waiting for Gonzalez. Strike called at the knees. 2-2.
Connor's from Plano, so there's a pretty good chance his high school had somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 students. Yeah, Plano Senior High, Plano West, all of them just huge schools.
Yeah.
Happen to have decent football.
Allen rips one in the left field corner. It's a base hit cut off out there by Malone. Gets it in quickly and holds him to a single. Nice play out in left field by Malone. But Allen with the leadoff single, and that is the first hit against Jack Gonzalez.
Well, it's got to start somewhere if you're going to find a comeback and stay in the winner's bracket. Connor Allen hopes it starts right here with his single. The 8-hitter comes through with a nice piece of hitting. Now, Jack Malone does a great job to limit it to just a single.
Riley Orr comes up, shortstop, number 9 man, hitting .377, 7 homers and 55 RBIs. Allen being held at first base by Christian. The first pitch, big curve, misses inside, 1-0. Mentioned that Gonzalez had a no-hitter earlier this season. It was a 7-inning no-hitter against Concordia University Irvine. In that game, he struck out 15. But no chance at a no-hitter anymore today. Curveball in the dirt. Runner will take off for second and will get there. Allen on the wild pitch. Good base running right there by Allen. He did not hesitate when he saw that ball in the dirt.
Every time something good happens to Allen, he looks to his dugout to try to fire them up.
That's a good secondary lead right there, and then just no hesitation.
I kind of think he has the mitt on the wrong hand.
You're going in head first. Maybe you want 2 mitts. I mean, that's how I cook. Called strike, 2-1. I mean, I'm dangerous when I'm cooking. I can burn anything anywhere. So, I mean, he might want 2 mitts.
Yeah, everybody's diving headfirst out of the house.
Batten down the hatches. A 2-1 to Orr and a bluff to bunt. 3-1 to Orr. Yeah, when I'm cooking, I don't want anybody to see what I'm doing, too. I mean, it's got to be secret. It's kind of like that trailer out there in right field where they have all the windows shuttered. That's the way I cook. I don't want anybody to look inside and see what I'm cooking.
That's B&B.
B&B. Yeah, there you go. You can start a website. Orr drills one down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Just foul down the left field line. That would have been extra bases. All of a sudden, some hard shots against Gonzalez here. It's got a little bit out in front of it. How close was it? Pretty close. Scott Wyckoff made that call.
About a foot.
Full count now to Riley Orr. Number 9 hitter. Chris Sutton is on deck. So Allen leading at second with nobody out. Point Loma, they have their signs put down conventionally by the catcher. 3-2 to Orr. Ripped in the hole at short. Backhanded by the shortstop Anderson. No play. Tried to get it over to third, but that was not going to be close. So that's an infield single for Orr. Now it's 2 on and nobody out for Southern Arkansas.
Yeah, infield single. Anderson probably would have been just well off hanging on to this ball regardless.
Top of the order, second baseman Chris Sutton.
Good job getting that inside pitch.
You make this throw hoping the runner might round the bag.
I mean, there's nobody covering third. This Kemp wasn't at the bag, so just wanted to throw it in there. But, it's a good job just to get to the ball for Anderson and save a run for the time being. Here's Chris Sutton, who is 0 for 1, fly to center his first trip.
First 2 hits of the ball game, back-to-back now.
Big curve. That's in for a strike. 0-1. That kind of looked like a Barry Zito curveball right there, the former Oakland Athletic. When we see Point Loma, we kind of think of the A's with those caps, the green and gold. Oh, 1 to Sutton. Lifted into left center. This will score a run. Alvarez out there in center for the first out. Tagging at third, heading home is Allen. He scores. Or back to first, and the Mule Riders are on the board. 4-1 now, Point Loma.
It's a productive out from Chris Sutton. Connor Allen, who led off this inning by finding the first base hit against Jack Gonzalez, and the whole time around the bases, Allen always would look to that dugout to try to make sure that they understood what this inning could mean, and sparking a comeback.
Now the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Brett Mcgee, walked in the first inning. Man who has 16 home runs. The Mule Riders have 111 on the year coming into the tournament. I'm actually adding one more on from the last game, so 112 on the season. Tied for 5th in the nation coming in. So Mcgee batting here up against Gonzalez. There's a strike, 0-1. Mcgee, the catcher, junior from Pittsburgh, Texas. Where is Pittsburgh, Texas again?
It's in Texas.
Very nice. That is a little bit high, 1-1. Orr is on at first base with 1 out. Mule Riders down by 3 here in the 3rd inning. Pitch to Mcgee, and it's outside. Lots of breaking balls by Gonzalez.
Pittsburgh, Northeast Texas, on your way to Texarkana.
Okay, I'll have to remember.
But not Texarkana, Arkansas, Texarkana, Texas.
Oh, okay. Mcgee is a very patient hitter who broke the school record for walks. "60 walks this season as he takes a ball and he's ahead 3-1. 60 walks in 58 games. And we mentioned it earlier that this team leads the nation in walks. They average 6 a game. They've only walked 1 time in this game, and it was Mcgee with actually his 61st walk of the year. Orr leading off first base, being held by Christian. 3-1 to Mcgee, ripped into right field. That's a base hit. Orr comes around second, headed for third. Ochin throws it in. He's got a great arm, but it's cut off. First and third with 1 out, and now the potential tying run is coming to the plate in Brandon Nickel.
You think about 6 runners left on base by Point Loma these first 3 innings. How much they would love to have had a few more come home. Southern Arkansas threatening.
And here comes Justin James, the Point Loma head coach, out to the mound. Former pitching coach at UC San Diego, so handling the pitching. And he will have a conversation here to try to settle down his left-hander. Lots of breaking balls. And the patience pays off for Mcgee.
Third hit of the inning, along with a sacrifice fly for the only out recorded. Yeah, that means the tying run is coming to the plate, and Brandon Nickel, you're right in the meat of your lineup for Southern Arkansas, right where you want to be. Nickel alone has 14 home runs, 81 RBI coming into this week, the freshman. Mentioned we saw Justin James with those Tritons of UCSD in 2017 in Texas, and then back here in 2018 in Cary, back when he was the pitching coach.
Nickel, who struck out his first time up 0 for 1. And he takes the first pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, the 2017 Tritons made to the championship only to lose to Westchester. But they came out of the losers bracket in that tournament. And then they were back in 2018. Now a Division I team, UC San Diego. Orr at third and Mcgee at first. And there's a breaking ball for a ball. Now it's 2-0. So Gonzalez, who had been getting ahead of hitters, suddenly falling behind hitters. Never a good thing. With one out, you'd love to get a double play ball as middle infielders are cheating towards second a little bit. The pitch to Nickel, grounded foul on the third base side. 2-1 now to Brandon Nickel. Four runs, 7 hits, no errors for Point Loma. 1 run, 3 hits, and an error for Southern Arkansas. Gonzalez checking on that runner at first base. He deals, and it's way high, 3-1. So again, getting behind the count where he might have to come in with a fastball, and that's when they can do damage.
At setting sun, the guy who's going to have the hardest time with it right now is your first baseman, Jacob Christian. Any kind of pickoff throw over there, any kind of throw from the left side of the infield.
Swing and a miss. That was swatted after by Nickel. A high pitch. Yeah, it is tough over at first base for the runner and the first baseman. Just couldn't connect there. I think you're reticent to throw over to first base if you're a pitcher because you know your first baseman might not catch it. He can't see it. 3-2, ripped into left field. That's a base hit on one bounce out to Malone. In to score is Orr. Stopping at second is Mcgee. RBI single for Nickel. His 82nd RBI of the year. And all of a sudden, Southern Arkansas is getting its offense going. They're down by 2.
That's 4 singles adding up for the Mule Riders. You're only out this inning still of the sacrifice fly from Sutton. Brings up the 6th batter this inning. Another look, Brandon Nickel. Into left, Jack Malone. All he can do is make sure the runners don't take an extra 90 feet.
These are hard hit balls. These are hitters getting ahead in the count, like right there, a 3-1 count. And now Jacob Machuca at the plate. Tying runs are on base. Gonzalez deals, and he misses high. So he is getting behind in the count, and it's really hurting Gonzalez.
And for the first time, the tying run is on base. Behind Mcgee, it's Brandon Nickel at first.
Machuca, 0 for 1 today, 0 for 4 in the tournament. 328 on the year coming in. 11 homers. Outfield playing him straight away. Shortstop trying to check the runner back at second. Swing and a miss. Man, Machuca looked like he wanted to hit it to the trees out there past the right field wall.
Yeah, he was looking for the first lead of the day for Southern Arkansas.
I think he was going for the tollway. One to Machuca. Called strike. Big strike right there, you would think, for Gonzalez to get ahead 1-2 now. Gonzalez, 2 Ks in the game. Has 2 on and 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball down and away. And there is strikeout number 3, and that might be a big one for Gonzalez to try to get out of this inning without any further damage.
After back-to-back singles with 1 out, there's that elusive second out this inning. Gonzalez hoping to strand 2 base runners here and maintain a 2-run lead.
It's up to Ty Manning to keep it going. He struck out in the second. 0 for 1. 0 for 4 in the tournament so far. 2 on, 2 outs. Point Loma led 4-0, but 2 runs across here in the third for Southern Arkansas, and that's popped up. Should be the inning. Anderson. That does it for the Mule Riders in the third. They do score a couple. They had 4 base hits, but they do leave 2 men on base. At the end of 3, it's 4-2. Point Loma leading Southern Arkansas on NCAA.com. We head to the 4th inning, 4-2 in favor of Point Loma. Well, they were feeling pretty comfortable there with a 4-0 lead, with the Mule Riders answering with 2 in the third. Now Scott Anderson leads it off for the Sea Lions, and he takes a called strike from Jack Liddell, 0-1. Liddell came in and got the final out of the third inning after Wyatt Marr did not have his best stuff, giving up 4 runs in 2 2/3 innings today.
Now, if you're Point Loma, at least, you know that the worst inning you've had, you brought 5 guys to the plate.
You can lament the fact that you've left 6 men on base in the first 3 innings and opened the door for Southern Arkansas to try to come back a little bit. Anderson swings and fouls it off the catcher's mitt. It remains 0-2 to Scott Anderson, the shortstop for Point Loma. Pac-West Defensive Player of the Year. Played every inning at shortstop this year. Never comes out. Liddell's 0-2 to Anderson. Fouled back, it remains 0-2. Anderson with the big hit his last time up off the wall in left field. A 2-run double. He's 1 for 2 today, and he is 4 for 7 in this tournament. So he's been swinging the bat great.
And when he leads off an inning, hitting better than 500 on the year.
Skies this one to right for Allen. No sun trouble. 1 away. That'll bring up Baxter Halligan, who was the starting pitcher for Point Loma in their first game. Now just the DH, and he's 0 for 2, struck out, fly to left. This is somebody who was the pitcher and the player of the year in the conference.
Yeah, swept
Point Loma.
Swept the region awards as well.
Pretty amazing for both as a hitter and a pitcher. Set the school record for wins on the mound. And able to hit over 350 coming into this game.
Celebrated his birthday this past weekend with a victory in the Super Regional to punch their ticket here to Cary.
From the Pacific West Conference and then the West Regional. He's the best player on both sides.
Well, and some publications have him as your Division II Pitcher of the Year across the country.
Well, we look forward to seeing him on the mound again. He got the win in the first game. There's a fly ball down the left field line. Coming over in the corner, Lyles, and he can't get to it, out of play. With that win that Halligan got against Illinois Springfield, he improved to 13-2. And he was batting in that game. They didn't DH for him, and he had 3 hits in the game on Saturday.
Well, he was the DH. He stayed in the ball game.
Right. No need to bat for him.
That's something where you have to make sure you enter him properly in the lineup.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Goes down on strikes for the second time today, 0 for 3. As Liddell has been able to retire all 3 that he has faced, 2 down.
Again, nice start in relief. Remember, Liddell came in last inning, 2 outs, bases loaded, got a fly out to right, no sweat.
Here is the frenetic Hunter Ochin.
First I've heard of him.
1 for 2 today, single.
Look at the custom signs behind him. Mohawk Magic.
The quirky right fielder, who's also a pitcher.
Och 20.
Always looks like he's plugged in, right? He doesn't run on batteries. Loves the feel of the dirt on his bare hands, no batting gloves.
You reading his dating profile?
Does he distract the pitcher with all of the antics that he has at the plate? Fouls it back. Might annoy some pitchers if they're looking at him, which they really shouldn't be.
I think Jack Liddell's okay. He's from Ontario.
Do you think he has bruises on his right leg at the end of the game? 1-2 to Ochin. Checks his swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire, Steve Zawiski. Well, that was debatable. And the count is 2-2.
Another look for you.
I thought he went when I saw it live. Oh, no, he didn't. He held up. Good call.
Just send Steve a handwritten letter.
The 2-2. Grounded to shortstop. Backhanded by Orr. 1-2-3 inning for Liddell, who has settled things down on the mound for Southern Arkansas. Middle of the 4th inning. Point Loma 4. Southern Arkansas 2. Coleman Field is the site, Cary, North Carolina, for the D2 championship. And what's the meaning of this game? Well, the winner of this game gets 2 days off. They don't have to play again until Thursday. Right now, Point Loma leading 4-2 over Southern Arkansas. The loser has to go into the loser bracket and play Rollins on Wednesday. As the Tars won earlier today, 3-2. A tight ball game as they eliminated Illinois Springfield, as there's a ball to Tucker Burton leading off.
Look at the action in Point Loma's bullpen. Even when they had the stressful inning last inning, never had action in that bullpen. That's Nathan Garco, arguably one of their 4 starting pitchers, the senior. He's had a great career. Helped secure that Pac-West championship back in Fresno.
1-1 to Burton, facing Gonzalez, who started and was kind of cruising along the first couple of innings, but gave up 2 runs in the 3rd. And allowed 4 hits in that inning. Bouncing ball foul on the first base side, and really you could blame it on the fact that he was getting behind hitters. He gets ahead of this hitter here, but that was really what it was all about.
Joe, you mentioned those 2 days off. That's not something any other team in this bracket will enjoy, even if you're the team that tomorrow goes 2-0. Just the nature of this bracket, as the tournament got started over 2 days and continues in that format, there's 2 different brackets much of the week. And it's a benefit to one of these 2 teams that nobody else will be able to enjoy, and it gives you that extra day to get your pitching lined up for a championship push. You win your first 2, and you might be halfway to being national champions already.
Yeah, that's why this is a big game right here for these 2 teams. Really helps to set up your pitching. 1-2 to Burton. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the breaking stuff there. 4th strikeout for Gonzalez. Chris Lyles will come up. Now, the benefit is to the pitchers, but I will say that there could be, part of you thinking that maybe that's detrimental to the hitters, because if you are swinging the bats the way Point Loma has been lately, you want to keep playing. You don't want 2 days off. So there's that to think about. Here is Lyles skying one left field. Center fielder coming over in left center, actually, and that's Alvarez to make the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, I get that argument, but that for me, it's like when people question, do you really want to buy in the first round of the postseason? And they always justify a reason why you'd rather be playing. And the real answer is, yes, you want that buy because there's zero chance that you are losing that game that you're not going to play.
Right. You always want that, but it's just something to think about as far as just how much of an advantage it is.
It's fun to avoid being rusty unless you lose that game.
Connor Allen checks his swing. And did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire, Steve Zawiski. It took a while for them to appeal down to him, but he did go around. 0-1. Allen 1 for 1, a single. As you see, he did go around there. Had the 3-run homer a couple of days ago. Oh, 1 pitch, swing and a miss. 0-2. So now Gonzalez trying to settle down again, looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Four runs, 7 hits, no errors for Point Loma. 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Southern Arkansas. Gonzalez likes the sign from Waterman and deals. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-2. So the signs are coming from the dugout. They go to the catcher and then the pitcher for Point Loma as Justin James calls the game. One, 2 to Allen is just outside. 2-2. Justin James, the head coach for the Sea Lions, was telling us that with pitchers these days, they want to know why pitches were called. And that's the comparison to when he was playing, when they would get a sign from the coach, just throw it. But he thinks the pitchers are a little more analytical about it. The 2-2 is floated towards shortstop, caught by Anderson. That was not hit hard, and he had time to go to his left. And the inning is over, a 1-2-3 inning for Gonzalez. 4 in the books here in Cary, North Carolina. It's 4-2 in favor of Point Loma as we go to the 5th inning. Point Loma looking to add to its 4-2 lead as we go to the 5th inning here at Coleman Field. Cary, North Carolina, right in between Raleigh and Durham and Chapel Hill. Jacob Christian to lead it off for Point Loma. Takes a strike from Jack Liddell, 0-1. Liddell came in the 3rd. He's retired all 4 batters that he faced after Wyatt Marr gave up 4 runs and 7 hits in 2 2/3 innings. Christian 0 for 2 today. Struck out, fly to left. He takes down and away. 1-1 to Christian, first baseman for the Sea Lions. 6'4", 225. Christian, a freshman, San Diego native. That's where Point Loma comes from. What did the sign say? Over 2,500 miles away, right?
Yep.
From North Carolina.
It's a fun train ride.
They have a ballpark that has one of the best views that you'll see, a view of the Pacific Ocean. It's called Carroll B. Land Ballpark, named after the longtime head coach who passed away in December. And it has been named as America's most scenic ballpark, named after Carroll B. Land. They do have patches on the uniform that we've seen. Saw it the other day. CBL, standing for Carroll B. Land. Swing and a miss, 3-2 the count. Christian to be followed by Waterman and Malone. Three-two pitch, fouled back out of play. It remains 3-2. Well, you know, we always talk about the sports teams from these colleges, but for Point Loma, they're famous for having a debate team that won the 2007 National Parliamentary Debate Association Championship. So they won that. Maybe they can win a baseball championship.
Remind me, is that still double elimination?
It could be. That's launched deep left. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. Jacob Christian. His 13th home run of the season. And it's 5-2 Point Loma.
Well, he had tested the waters back in the third over there and left. A little more pop in this one.
Yeah, would that have been in the Pacific Ocean if it was a home game? I think it would have been. Man, that was a great-looking swing by Christian. And it just kept going. You wondered, would it stay fair? It did. Look at that. That almost made it to the construction site. I think it hit the fence in front of the construction site. We were talking about it earlier that they're going to have offices out there for USA Baseball. That might have been right into a conference room or something. What a bomb. Well, that's got to be the longest home run we've seen so far in this tournament. 1-1 now to Waterman. That was just crushed.
We'll wait for somebody with a hard hat to retrieve that one.
They were working out there earlier today. 2-1 to Waterman.
They have clocked out. There will be an indoor facility along with some offices. That is not the home run fence up there.
That ball get lodged in there in the rubble? 2-2 to Waterman.
They may not find it until they build a new facility decades from now and tear up the foundation.
It's too bad because Waterman up here. Too bad because Christian would like to have that baseball fouled back because that's his first home run in the Division II Baseball Championship.
Now, out of sensitivity to pitcher Jack Liddell, they are giving us the distance in feet. So 403 feet, that home run.
Wow. I thought it was even further than that. Can I go walk it off?
That's in the ninth.
2-2 to Waterman. Strike three called on the inside corner. So one away on the second strikeout by Liddell. Waterman is gone. I was thinking about when they tried to measure home runs back in the old days. I mean, you think about like the Mickey Mantle home run that was, 500 feet? Somebody had to walk that off and just say, okay, I think it was 500 and whatever feet. Now we have amazing technology. Here's Jack Malone, who takes a strike 0-1. 1 for 2, a single for Malone. They're looking for that ball. Did they find it? I think they did. Well, wait a minute. I don't know if that's the ball.
That looked like you playing golf. I think this is my ball.
Nice, Lincoln. 1-1.
Found it.
Now, wait. Yes, I did find it. And I hit a beautiful shot out of that stuff. Yes, I've bragged a couple times that I played Pinehurst while on this trip. That does look like me running to look for my ball. The pitch to Malone is high for a ball, 2-1. Three-run lead now for Point Loma after that bomb by Christian, the freshman. Point Loma's first home run in the tournament. That's pop foul back of the plate and out of play, and Malone has a count of 2-2. First trip to the D2 championship for both of these schools and really trying to make it count.
Yeah, Southern Arkansas in the past has run into programs that we've seen like the Mules of Central Missouri. While Point Loma, we're talking about a team that has really only been about a 500 program each year for the longest time, including last year, winning 11 games.
Lyles on that catch to put away Malone, 2 down. You would have loved to see the mules and the mule riders, right?
Well, we've seen it in earlier rounds. It's not possible for us to see it here. It seems like a natural rivalry.
Here is Jason Dumont, 1-for-1 single walk run scored. Well, you think about the way that Southern Arkansas got here in their super regional when they swept Augustana. They won 8-7, and then they trailed by 5 entering the 9th inning and scored 7 runs with 2 outs to win the second game and get to Cary. They won that game 13-11. 0-1 here to Dumont. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Southern Arkansas from Magnolia, Arkansas. Everybody's looking at some kind of sign. You got the catcher looking at his armband. You got Liddell looking at his. 2-1.
This is going to be at least the 15th pitch for Liddell this inning. Again, you got nobody on with 1 out. Slowly progressing through here in the 5th. Now to his credit, after the home run to Christensen, bounce back with the strikeout.
3-1 to Dumont. Bullpens are quiet right now. Catcher Mcgee getting the sign from the dugout. Head coach Justin Pettigrew, as well as the pitcher getting that sign. Now 3-1 to Dumont. Fouled back, full count. Point Loma, 4 runs in the 2nd and another run here in the 5th on the Christian homer. So a 3-run lead at this point. Liddell's payoff pitch to Dumont. Bouncing ball foul on the first base side. Remains 3-2. Hopefully we can dial up this weather for the rest of the week. It's 81 degrees right now. It's just been beautiful all day. It's supposed to get warmer as we go along. Into Wednesday, it'll get up to low 90s.
You know, they let us out in the public between these games each day, and it's tempting not to go back inside the broadcast booth.
3-2, check swing, pitch up and in. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire Scott Wyckoff on the appeal. That's ball 4, so Dumont has walked for the 2nd time, and he's been aboard all 3 trips.
And Liddell has thrown about 20 pitches this inning. Right now, just 1 out to show for it.
Well, he's up to 40 pitches in the game, 98 pitches for the staff of Southern Arkansas, and we're only in the 5th inning. Here's Isaiah Alvarez, who has walked and hit a sac fly. Runner at first with 2 down. Dumont off to his lead, being held at first by Machuca. And the pitch is down and away, 1-0. Number 9 hitter up there. How many number 9 hitters have we seen, though, that are hitting over 300? It seems like quite a few. There aren't that many weak links in these lineups that have come to Cary this year.
Yeah, they're basically just another leadoff hitter helping you turn that lineup over.
Yeah. Over to first, and Dumont safe. Point Loma, they have left 6 men on base. Had a lot of base runners in this game. That's smashed. Oh, what a catch at third by Nickel. Alvarez robbed of a base hit. Nickel climbing the ladder and snaring a bullet at third base. But it was Christian with the home run, a deep bomb, his 13th of the year. 5-2 in favor of Point Loma, going to the bottom of the 5th. Do sea lions get along with dogs? I think so. They're getting along with this day right now as the sea lions are up 5-2. Mule Riders up there trying to come back on the first pitch. Riley Orr grounds out to Jason Dumont. 1 pitch, 1 away for Jack Gonzalez, who says thank you very much.
Jack had that rough third inning when 7 came to the plate and 2 scored. Be able to face the minimum in the 4th. Now retired 6 in a row.
Back to the top of the order, and Chris Sutton, who was flying to center and hit a sac fly to center. 5-2 in favor of Point Loma. That over-the-top breaking ball misses low. 1-0.
Technically, if you bring a dog to the ballpark, they'll let you in free.
That's a good deal.
That'll be true all week.
Sea Lions are getting some action in their bullpen. Curveball misses low. 2-0.
I mean, I think if you brought a sea lion, they'd let you in free, but there might be some questions.
There's a sea lion getting loose.
A rare sight in North Carolina.
3-0 the count.
The lefty Gonzalez got the start today. Your only starting pitcher left in this ball game. Giving up 2 runs on 4 hits.
Pours that one in for a strike. Sutton was taken all the way.
His teammates able to claw back an insurance run in the top half of this inning.
(3-1) to Sutton. In there for a strike, so he comes back in the count to get it full. Gonzalez does. He has struck out 4, has walked 1. Sign put down by Waterman. Wants the low target. That's lifted into shallow right center for Ochen. 2 away and 7 in a row now retired by Gonzalez. Brett Mcgee will come up. He's been aboard both times. Walked and singled.
Now batting the catcher, Brett Mcgee.
So Mcgee trying to get on here to get something going. His on-base percentage is .512 to lead the team. His OPS, slugging plus on-base percentage, is over 1,100. That pitch is outside, 1-0. So a great year for Mcgee when you look inside the numbers a little bit.
We've mentioned his hometown, Pittsburgh, Texas. Grew up maybe an hour away from a pretty good emerging Division II baseball program, UT Tyler. Former national champion in Division III.
Bouncing ball hit weakly to first base for Christian. He'll go to the bag himself quickly, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jack Gonzalez, who is now retired 8 in a row. 5 in the books in Cary, North Carolina. Point Loma with a 3-run lead on Southern Arkansas. Alongside Lincoln Rose, I'm Joe Castellano as the sun sets here on a beautiful evening in North Carolina. Town of Cary, host of the 2022 NCAA Division II Baseball Championship. It's been played here almost every year since 2009. There was one year where we had it in Grand Prairie, Texas. It was 2017. Then it came back here. Of course, we missed a year in 2020 with COVID. Last year, Wingate winning it all. Who will win it this year? One of these two teams has a decent shot after winning its first game, and will have 2 wins after today. Otto Kemp leading off for Point Loma. The Sea Lions leading by 3 runs here as we begin the 6th, and Kemp 1 for 2, an RBI single and a walk.
4 teams already have a win this week. None of them have ever won a national championship.
Westchester, the only team in the field that has won it before. They've won a couple of times. 1-1 the count.
They suffered a loss yesterday. Saw them warming up today on one of the adjacent fields.
We had 2 returning teams from 2021, Southern New Hampshire and Angelo State. Southern New Hampshire will be playing in an elimination game against Westchester tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 Eastern Time. You can watch that here on NCAA.com. Pitch to Kemp. Low for a ball. 3-1. Already one of the 4 teams making their first appearance eliminated, Illinois Springfield. Their flag has been pulled down from the pole. 3-1 to Kemp. Foul back into the catcher's mitt, full count. He'll be followed by Anderson and Halligan. Halligan's the only batter to not reach base in this game for Point Loma. See the flag gone. So you got the guy who was the player of the year in the region and the conference. He's the only one not to reach base. Fouled back. That shows you the depth of this lineup for Point Loma. Full count to Kemp. Trying to add to this 3-run lead. Liddell with a payoff pitch. Fisted into center field for Manning. 1 away. Now Scott Anderson, who had a big 2-run double off the wall in left field, back in the second.
Yeah, that off of Wyatt Marr and his second time to see the pitcher.
Couple of booming extra base hits in this game for Point Loma. That double and the home run by Christian. Yeah, Marr had a tough outing. Anderson 1 for 3 today and 4 for 8 in the tournament so far. Pops it up. Shallow right. Second baseman Sutton going out there. 2 down. I bring up Baxter Halligan.
Yeah, ideal start. Top third of the lineup for Point Loma coming up, and Jack Liddell so far has sat the first 2.
Well, he's done a pretty good job since coming in the 3rd inning. He's given up just the 1 run, only a couple of base runners against him. A home run and a walk. Pretty easy play there for Sutton.
Here's a guy looking to break an offer, regardless of who the pitcher is, Baxter Halligan.
0 for 3, 2 strikeouts today, and he's flied to left after he had a 3-hit first game.
The first of 2 strikeout victims today for Liddell in relief.
Halligan still a lofty 347 batting average. Halligan started his career at Northern Colorado. As he's gone along in his career, he's put on some weight, some muscle, and has improved to the point where he is one of the best players in the country. Checks his swing, the pitch is low, and Halligan's ahead 3-0. This guy's a great athlete, too. He's been a swimmer in high school, a water polo player, likes to surf on the side. I guess he could get done with baseball practice and just jump right in the ocean there past the ballpark in San Diego and do some surfing.
I think they call that shagging fly balls.
Halligan, the senior, grew up in Oregon, in Pacific City, Oregon. The 3-1 pitch grounded in the hole at second base and into right field, a base hit. You had Sutton playing way out on the outfield grass to prevent a base hit, but he just could not get to that. So Halligan gets his first hit of the day, and now every Sea Lion has reached base today.
Yeah, after a while, it was Chris Sutton just trying to challenge himself to see if he could actually get to that ball as deeply as he was playing. He'll get into your picture here in a moment.
I mean, how far do you have to play out there before you can cut one off? I guess he wasn't deep enough. Now here's Hunter Ochin. That's 9 hits now for Point Loma. Ochin takes inside 1-0. We were watching him a little bit in between innings. And even though he was 4th up in this inning, not 1st or 2nd or 3rd, he had his helmet on, his bat in his hands, and he couldn't wait to get up there.
If you're a dog owner and you leave the house and you make the mistake of looking back at your front window, that's Hunter Ochin just wondering when you are going to come back through that door and let him out and come join you in the real world.
I mean, he's always on.
When he's not allowed to be moving about, that decisively not Hunter Ochin.
That's the antithesis of Hunter Ochin right there. That could not be his dog.
That might be his dog.
Really?
Just sheer exhaustion.
Right. That's a good point.
His dog probably has a mohawk.
Ochin, who went to Point Loma High School, a local guy. And, anybody who loves baseball and you see a guy hit even just a fly ball to the outfield and you want him to run it out, you don't always see that. You'll see it with Ochin. He will sprint to first base on anything he hits out there, even if it's a routine fly ball.
Yeah, he's standing on third.
Runner at first, 2 down. Ochin takes inside, 3-1. It's a guy who wants to skydive. It's not something I've ever desired to do, but you could see why. I mean, he's the kind of guy who would probably want to jump out of a plane once a day.
That's just to calm down.
I mean, he's a thrill seeker, right? Swing and a miss. Big rip by Ochin. And he can do it all. I mean, the guy can hit. He's hitting .330 coming in, 11 homers. He can pitch, and we've seen him make a throw from the outfield that was remarkable because he has the arm of a pitcher.
I think the opposing dugout's enjoying watching him. I think he's won over some mule riders.
Runner will go on 3-2, and it's rocked in the left field, a base hit. Coming around second is Halligan, headed for third, and he dives in, beating the throw from Lyles. First and third with 2 down. Ochin celebrating a little bit over at first base.
Halligan able to go from first to third, never slowing down. Back-to-back base hits with 2 outs.
Ochin 2 for 4 now after he smashed that one in the left field. 10th hit for the Sea Lions. Jacob Christian now with 2 on and 2 outs. And look at this. Yeah! And you can hit him as hard as you want because he won't feel any pain. Now we're going to have a conversation at the mound. There is action in the bullpen for Southern Arkansas as Santos Sosa, a right-hander, is throwing. So Christian here, he's already homered his last time up, his 13th of the year. And if he could go yard here, that would really create some separation. I think the teammates of Ochin are just entertained by him constantly. He keeps everything so loose. These guys are having fun. Of course, you're having fun when you're winning and you're not facing elimination today. And you could have 2 days off. What's Ochin going to do with 2 days off if they win this game?
Probably pull out the remaining hair in his head.
I mean, he doesn't need time off. We might see him just running around the ballpark. He might be doing laps or something.
Yeah, apologies in advance to the host hotel.
So after the first 2 men went down, Halligan singled, Ochin, the cleanup hitter, singled. Now the number 5 hitter, who hit one all the way to the construction area past the left field wall his last time up, a 400-foot blast. The freshman, the big right-handed batter, Liddell deals. And it's on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1.
All this with 2 outs. Halligan single, now on third. Ochin single.
Well, Christian won't be able to get that ball, it appears, because it was buried in there, but maybe he can hit another one that he can get back. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Now he's just going to try to stay alive. Well, even though it feels like Point Loma is way out in front with all the base runners they've had, they've left 7 on base. And if they don't get base hit here and leave a couple more, they're still leaving that door cracked open for Southern Arkansas to come back. So kind of a key at bat here for Christian to try to do more damage. 1-2. Christian, the freshman of the year in the conference, has been a clutch hitter. He had a game-tying homer and a game-winning hit in the Super Regional against Azusa Pacific. Outfield plays in the pull a little bit. 1-2, and it's way outside. After that home run that Liddell gave up to Christian, he's trying to stay away from Christian. I don't think he's going to throw him anything middle in. Two balls, 2 strikes to Christian. The pitch popped up. Second base, Sutton. That will do it for Point Loma in the 6th. So again, they had base runners, could have done more damage, but they leave 2. They've left 9 on base in the first 6 innings. Ochin is having a good time. Point Loma up 5-2. So go to the bottom of the 6th. Sun setting on a perfect baseball evening here at Coleman Field in Cary, the USA Baseball Training Facility. 5-2, Point Loma as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Southern Arkansas up against starter Jack Gonzalez. There's a called strike to Brandon Nickel. 0-1. Nickel 1 for 2, an RBI single and a strikeout. Gonzalez has settled in, has retired 8 in a row coming into this frame. The left-hander works from the stretch even though nobody's on. And he deals outside 1-1. It seems to me that when he gets ahead in the count, like a lot of pitchers, then he's fine. The minute he gets behind is when he's been getting hit pretty hard.
And his pitch count's still good, despite a rough 3rd inning.
That's ripped past the shortstop, Anderson. That was a bullet. Heading for second, Nickel. Here comes the throw, not in time from Alvarez. And that's a leadoff double for Nickel.
Yeah, Nickel's not inclined to wait till later in the game to get a comeback going. Trying to spark it and does so with a double.
Man, that ball was hit hard. I mean, Anderson had no chance at short because that ball went zooming by him. So that's the 5th hit for Southern Arkansas. I mean, look how hard that was hit. Couldn't really get to it. And by the time the center fielder, Alvarez, got to it, couldn't get him out at second. Now Jacob Machuca, 0 for 2, grounded to first, struck out. That's skied, left center field. Alvarez is there. Catch made, tagging at second. Nickel headed for third, and he'll make it in easily. It's a runner at third with 1 out.
Only runs for the Mule Riders back in the 3rd inning when they brought 7 to the plate.
Good base running.
Gonzalez had faced the minimum the last 2 innings before the double by Nickel, now standing on third.
Yeah, Gonzalez was in control. But Nickel, I mean, that was great the way he took second and turned it into a double. And that was good the way he tagged up and went to third because now he's in position to score from third on a fly ball to the outfield as Ty Manning is up there and he takes a ball 1-0. Manning 0 for 2, struck out, popped to short. 0 for 5 in the tournament. Mentioned that inning in the 3rd for Southern Arkansas. Meanwhile, Point Loma, they had a 4-run second in this game. And then the home run in the 5th, but they've left 9 on base. And it just feels like Point Loma could have done a lot more offensively. And they've left it open here for Southern Arkansas to try to come back. 1-1 to Manning. popped up. This is not going to get it done. Left side of the infield, the shortstop Anderson. 2 away. I'll bring up Tucker Burton.
So a double, a fly out, and now a pop out. That allows Nickel just to advance the one bag to third a batter ago. And Tucker Burton's going to need to be able to produce unless there happens to be a pass ball or wild pitch that allows for Nickel to come home. They would love to find another crooked number to put on the board. Down by 3.
Another left-handed batter up there for Southern Arkansas against Gonzalez, who has thrown 4 complete games, all of them 7-inning complete games, part of doubleheaders. So it would be uncharted territory for him to go 8 innings. But, I mean, they'd be thrilled to get the 7 out of him. 0-1 to Burton. Mentioned the pitch count being manageable. He's at 80 pitches. That breaking ball misses inside, 1-1. Gonzalez, a transfer from Dixie State.
And now a Division I program, longtime Division II.
Trying to help lead Point Loma into a situation where they wouldn't play again until Thursday and would be positioned very well to get to the championship on Saturday. You win those first 2 games, you're in good shape. Runner at third, 2 down. Burton waiting for the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gonzalez with another great breaking ball, celebrates a little bit as he walks off the mound without a run being scored. Gets his 5th strikeout. No runs, a leadoff double, but Nickel is left stranded at third. 6 in the books in Cary, North Carolina. 5-2, Point Loma.
On to the top of the 7th. Southern Arkansas, your number 3 seed this week. Point Loma, your number 2 seed this week. Both got their journey started with victories back on Saturday. Lincoln Rose, Joe Castellano with you. It's Eastman Waterman set to lead things off out of the 6th spot in this lineup. Already 2 for 3 today with a run scored, a couple of singles. Easton was one of the 3 men left with bases loaded when Jack Liddell came on with bases loaded and 2 outs back in the 3rd inning. He's now gone 3 1/3 of only allowing 1 run. That was the home run that led off the 5th inning from Jacob Christian. But a nice job by Jack Liddell, who's doing his best to give his teammates who get to swing the bats a chance to cut into this 3-run deficit. But Jack Gonzalez, the starter for Point Loma, so far has been able to keep that lead intact. Waterman shoots one up the middle. Not sure if that one grazed Liddell while exiting the infield. A leadoff base hit for Waterman, who's 3 for 4 today.
11 hits again for Point Loma. They had 11 in the first game. And that ball was hit hard. We haven't seen any cheap hits. I mean, these are just bullets, and that almost hit the pitcher, like you said.
Yeah, it does get out of the way at least. Everybody's signing up for different times of the day to entertain Hunter Ochin in the event that they don't play baseball for the next 2 days. Action in the bullpen for Southern Arkansas. 2nd straight game we've seen Santos Sosa warming up. Product of Irving, Texas, the former home of the Dallas Cowboys. Just outside of Dallas. For Point Loma, Connor Hill, the freshman out of Goodyear, Arizona. But right now it's Liddell on the mound. Leadoff single from Waterman. And Waterman's going to move over to second. Every run they can get, you imagine, buys more time for Gonzalez to eat up innings in this ball game in his start and keep Point Loma from dipping into that bullpen.
Point Loma has left a man on base in every inning except the fourth. They've left 9 on. I mean, they've had so many chances to really blow this game open.
Jack Malone, 1 for 3 today. A couple of foul outs from Malone. Squares around a bunt. That's a beauty. Only play would be at first if there is a play to be had, and that will bring home the run. That is why you execute the bunt. By no means are you giving up a free out. You put the pressure on the defense to execute. And Jack Malone, after, quote, giving himself up, finds himself in scoring position, bringing home Waterman.
Well, that's a sacrifice and an error, and a bad one at that. I don't even know if Nickel should have thrown this ball, because by the time he got to it, it looked like Malone might have had a chance to beat that out for a base hit, but he just airmailed it over the first baseman. I mean, let's see, when he threw this ball, was he going to get him? No. I mean, they may even score that as a base hit and an error.
It is a base hit and an error on the throw.
Right, and then it goes not only over the first baseman, but Sutton had to run to track that down.
Well, not entirely the fault of Jack Liddell, but a pitching change for the second time today for the Mule Riders. They'll dip into the bullpen. We'll introduce you to Mr. Sosa when you rejoin us here in the top of the Santos Sosa, second man out of the bullpen this week, let alone in this ball game, as he relieves Jack Liddell following the start of Wyatt Marr. 2 batters into this inning, a couple of singles, a run scored, an error. So 1 man on the base paths for Sosa to be worried about, and needs to find 3 outs to get out of this 7th inning. Santos on the year. This is his 14th appearance, 11 of which in relief. A 5.76 ERA, opposing hitters batting .287.
Sosa, number 19.
He's been pretty good lately. In the last 3 outings, he's gone 6 2/3 and given up just 1 earned run. But, you know, you think about this game, this could have been the number 2 starter for Southern Arkansas. Could have been Jacob Womack. He was their number 2 starter, but he went out 3 weeks ago with Tommy John surgery, and that was a big-time strikeout pitcher that they could have had for this game, but instead they've been kind of patchworking it.
Everybody else seems to be making miraculous comebacks this week.
Yeah.
We'll see if he comes back in a couple of days. Here's Jason Dumont. All he's done is singled and walked twice and scored a run. His problem is he knows about runners left on base. He's been left on the base paths twice. First batter to face Santos Sosa. Dumont, again, 3rd team all-conference. Bats in the 8th spot here for Point Loma. Malone over on second. As Machuca, the first baseman, has to cheat up a little bit. No runner to hold on anyways. And respect the ability to bunt here from Dumont. Four runs in the 2nd. Another run in the 5th, and 1 more here in the 7th. Barehanded throw across the way, snagged in time by Machuca, with the charging Jason Dumont bearing down on him. 1 away. That's back-to-back bunts for Point Loma, and it leads to the first out.
Well, that gets another runner down to 3rd with 1 out. Excellent execution on the bunt. Just get it right down there, make the 3rd baseman field it. Now he has no play at 3rd base, so he has to only have that 1 play to 1st.
Well, that glove just snagged that ball in time. Here's Isaiah Alvarez, a sac fly in the 2nd to score the first of 4 runs that inning. A walk and a line out most recently. That line out dramatically into the glove of Brandon Nickel to end the 5th inning. Nickel has no interest in a line ball shot his way quite that quickly. What were we told? It was a 91-mile-per-hour line drive to 3rd.
Yeah.
We don't get many exit velo on lineouts in the infield, but
That was a bullet.
that could cause an exit wound. He's cheating up just in case there's a bunt here. The entire infield is up. Their priority is to come home. We'll test that theory here.
Oh. Wow. Pop-up slide. That's an interesting choice.
So Malone out for out number 2. Fielder's choice has Alvarez on first.
Top of the order, third baseman Otto Kemp.
Top of the order, another look.
Watch the base runner trying to get around. That
You want him
was
jumping
tough for
over
Malone.
the head of the catcher?
Well, just slide in hard. Can't crash the catcher anymore, but
No. Sorry, Uncle Pete.
but you could try to slide in, but he was trying to just avoid the tag. He was going to be out no matter what.
Got him. Otto Kemp will have to wait to lead off the 8th. Alvarez caught off the base. Santos Sosa comes on. Able to cool things down. Get the bats back in the hands of his Mule Riders. With that said, Point Loma has stretched the lead back to 4. Jack Gonzalez goes 6 innings in his start. 2 runs on 5 hits. Connor Hill takes over here in the 7th.
Actually, Zachary Veen.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We didn't see he was warming up.
Zachary Veen is a guy they would rely on in save situations as well. Second time we've seen Zachary, though.
2, 3, and 4 hitters.
Saw him make his 24th appearance in the victory against UIS. Zachary went 1 1/3, allowed a couple of hits, walked 1 of the 7 batters he faced. Threw 29 pitches in relief back on Saturday before handing over a lead to Cole Hillier, who would pick up the save. This was Major League Baseball. Veen would have gotten a hold.
He's been pretty tough, 1.34 ERA on the year, and opponents are only batting 138 against him. And he's the guy who doesn't walk anybody, only 3 walks and 57 strikeouts in 47 innings.
But the last time we gave that stat, he had only walked 2.
Right, he did walk somebody the last outing.
Yeah, again, Veen had struck out 52 batters this year before he walked his first on the year, and that was the final series of the regular season. You would have known that if you had tuned in back on Saturday. So bottom third of the order here for Southern Arkansas. They have 9 outs to work with right now. Down by 4. This matches their largest deficit. After Point Loma had scored 4 in the second, they had started to chip away with 2 in the third. They've been scoreless ever since then. Chris Lyles, the ground out and a fly out so far, 0 for 2. Lyles out and left, made a nice catch right in front of the wall. Generations from now, it will be told that he brought that ball back in with maybe jumping up, waist high onto the top of the fence.
Right.
Good play regardless. You know, Coach tells us he basically has 3 center fielders out there, with Lyles being one of them, just happening to play in left.
It's great to have that luxury, to have that much speed out there.
Lyles trying to set the table against Zachary Veen. And Veen, sophomore out of Eastvale, California.
His favorite NFL team, the Rams. They won the Super Bowl, so he's having a good year.
Are we allowed to say Super Bowl on NCAA.com?
I think so.
Okay. Didn't know if we were doing the big game.
Here's another thing about Zachary. He really likes ping pong. Good hand-eye coordination.
The 2-2 to Lyles. Lays off it. Full count. Win or lose, you get tomorrow off. As we go back to another elimination game tomorrow morning between Westchester and Southern New Hampshire. I say tomorrow morning, maybe for those of you in Point Loma. That'll be a 1:30 Eastern time here. Payoff pitch, got him. Back-to-back strikeouts from Southern Arkansas hitters. First strikeout for Veen in relief.
Well, he's got a lot of movement on his fastball. Threw that one at 89 miles an hour, and you can just see it dives. That pitch there, that one was off the mark, but most of his pitches have movement.
Great look at the series there. Here's Connor Allen. Singled and scored in the third. Lined out to the shortstop in the fourth. 1 for 2 today. The junior out of Navarro Junior College. Mentioned the Dallas area native from Plano. Navarro's over in Corsicana in East Central Texas. There's a pipeline, understandably, from the state of Texas to Southern Arkansas. That is recruiting grounds for a lot of surrounding states. The 1-1. "23 of the 29 active players for Southern Arkansas from the Lone Star State. I believe more Canadians than actual Arkansas natives. Brandon Nicklin, Jack Liddell. Arkansas natives at heart. Down by 4. 8 outs to work with. And another count goes full.
Seems like when Veen misses, he misses by a lot.
Bottom third of the order trying to come through here for the Mule Riders. Back in center, Alvarez. It settles down in front of the warning track, 2 away. Well, they haven't been easy outs. Zachary Veen does retire the first 2 men he faces, but takes 13 pitches.
The shortstop, Riley Orr.
Now to your 9-hitter. Riley Orr, 1 for 2. That batting average at .379 now. Everybody in this lineup hitting on the plus side of 300. Singleton scored in the third. Grounded out in the 5th.
Veen had to throw a lot of pitches the other day, threw 29 in an inning and a third.
And an 0-2 hole now for Orr. Riley out of Spring Hill, Louisiana. Again, first team All-Region, first team All-Conference this year. Dad played under Southern Arkansas head coach Steve Goodhart back in the 90s. Second generation Mule Rider. And you see the concern there.
I think they're going to.
If you go to your mouth, I believe you have to go to your pant leg.
I think they're going to put a ball on the board. Or it's just going to be an official warning here. Well, they're going to talk it over. So he went to his mouth and didn't go to his pant leg there, I guess. Just like right there. Let's take a look. Got the ball back. Went to his mouth and didn't do anything else. Went to his cap.
Well, it was the prior pitch, I believe, that they would be concerned with. Again, it's just a warning.
They did give him a ball there, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Last week in Division III softball, we saw a pitcher using a wrong kind of towel that had a little too sticky of a substance on it, which you're allowed to use but still have to wipe off before you actually issue the ball into play. A lot for these umpires to keep track of. But they're on top of it. 2 outs, the 1-2.
How about the major league umpires when they have to check pitchers for foreign substances in their caps and their gloves? They're not doing it all that often. I mean, last year, I think when they first started doing that, it was a little crazy.
Well, they'd have more time to track all that if they let a computer do the balls and strikes, right?
Yeah. Could happen soon.
2 outs, nobody on. Mule Riders down by 4 here in the 7th, and we'll do it again. Count stays at 1-2. In our great crew today, Ray Chamberlain behind home plate, Steve Zawiski over there at first says he's received Joe's thoughtful letter. Trevor Henson at second and Scott Wyckoff at third. Backtracking and right, Ochin. Yeah, you never doubted Hunter Ochin, did you? 3 up, 3 down under the watch of Zachary Veen. As they go to the bullpen for the first time, still a 4-run lead to show for their efforts as we move on. For those of you scoring at home, compare your notes with that of the Mule Riders.
Yeah, Jacob Martinez right there doing the honors.
Top of the order for Point Loma. It was Otto Kemp at the plate when Alvarez was caught leaning off of first. And Kemp will lead off the 8th inning with a base hit off of Santos Sosa. Second hit today for Kemp, who's running the bases for a 3rd time.
Well, not only does he get on base every game, he's reached in all 58 games this year. He gets on base multiple times every game, it seems like. And he's been on 3 times, as you mentioned, today. He was on base 3 times in the first game. That's what a leadoff hitter does. Good one.
Good ones do it half of the games. Scott Anderson. 1 for 4 today with a 2-run double back in the 2nd inning to drive home half of those runs. Back to a 4-run lead thanks to an insurance run last inning for Point Loma.
Good leadoff man is wearing an oven mitt for a lot of the game. Does he have the oven mitt on? I think he does.
It's for the hand that often is not going back into the bag.
And then that doesn't make sense. Used to be you would just hold dirt in your hand, so you made a fist.
Well, Ochen's taking all the dirt. The 0-1. This one out towards left center. Manning, one away.
Yeah, you might hold dirt in one hand, and then the other one you can have free if you're going in feet first. But, I mean, if you're going in head first, maybe you could hold the dirt in one hand is what I really mean, because then you could reach for the bag with the other hand.
Baxter Halligan was 0 for 3 today before that single in the 6th inning. But he would be stranded on third base. Point Loma has stranded 9. Runner going. That'll get through. Going from first to third, Otto Kemp. Stop sign will hold him there. Runners on the corners. 2 on with 1 out for Point Loma.
And none of the positioning is working against Halligan. Earlier, they had the second baseman Hutton playing way out in the outfield. This time they brought him in, but they played Halligan to pull, and then he hits one up the middle. So it's just not working against him.
He need to just put more people out there.
Yeah, I mean, he smashes one right in that open area.
All right, Joe, I think you're going to like this next guy.
Everybody likes him.
Hunter Ochen. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Sophomore from San Diego.
Ooh.
And even his bunts are exciting.
So that's not an oven mitt that Kemp has on. That's more of just a wrist guard.
I think you're watching the wrong channel. We'll get Gordon Ramsay in here later.
Chance Bolter throwing in the bullpen there.
Right now it's Santos Sosa. Sosa was able to get them out of the 7th. A little more precarious here in the 8th. Ochen, your cleanup hitter.
How much dirt does one man need on his hands to hold the bat? I mean, he puts it on his hands every pitch. I think we found a weakness for Ochen. That would be bunting. That might be his kryptonite.
Just wait till he squares around with 2 strikes. Single from Otto Kemp. He stands on third. A wild pitch, a pass ball, a bunt away from perhaps coming home. Halligan the runner on first with 1 out. The 0-2 to Ochen. Got him. 2 away. If Point Loma wins this one, Joe, it's going to be an Ochen-free broadcast for at least 48 hours.
That's going to be tough to deal with.
He still has a chance out in right field to make a sensational play. Here's Jacob Christian. A home run back in the 5th inning.
It's amazing this Point Loma team only has 6 runs. They have 14 hits, 4 walks, so 18 base runners, but only 6 runs.
Well, they're in danger of stranding their 10th and 11th base runners of the ball game. Keep that door cracked open for a Southern Arkansas comeback with 6 outs to work with. Southern Arkansas, your home team tonight. They've got no place to be. Still a couple of marbles in that jar. Right up the middle, but there's the shift. Sutton underhands it to Orr. And Point Loma strands 2 more. Chris Sutton, right where his coach told him to be. That trust pays off. It is a 6-2 affair. Southern Arkansas back at the plate in the home half of the 8th. Point Loma goes to the bullpen, and a predictable choice. First team All-American Cole Hillier, for a second time this week, steps onto the mound in the 8th inning. He worked 1 2/3 in relief against UIS, Illinois Springfield, for the save for Point Loma in that 8-1 victory. Yes, it was a save, as they spotted him some extra runs after he came in the 8th.
16th save. So he's had a great year in that category.
This is not a save situation,
Nope.
and they didn't want to wait for Mr. Veen to maybe put a base runner on before bringing in their top closer. 2 pitches, 2 strikes. It's the top of the order for Southern Arkansas. Down to their final 6 outs here in the winner's bracket. So Zachary Veen just goes 1 inning in relief, hands the lead over to Cole Hillier. Veen faced the minimum. Sutton, Mcgee, and Nickel due up. They are a combined 3 for 7 today. The 1-2.
Throwing some sliders here. He also has good changeup, and his fastball gets up to 94 miles an hour. He has increased his velocity from his freshman year last year to his sophomore year this year.
Count goes full.
How about 53 strikeouts in 32 innings this season?
'24th appearance on the year. Right side gets through. Base hit from Chris Sutton. His first hit today. Just in time.
Well, they're at the top of the order. This is the time to try to make a comeback. Sutton is an excellent leadoff hitter. This is where you don't take any chances on the bases. You're down by 4 runs. Make sure you give yourself a chance and let these power hitters do their job.
Brett Mcgee 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. It's just the 6th hit for Southern Arkansas tonight. They've stranded 4. Point Loma stranded a staggering 11 so far. First pitch again, a strike, this time to Brett Mcgee. And Mcgee came into this week 16 home runs, 74 RBI. Left-handed bat in this lineup for the Mule Riders. A little modest lead at first for Chris Sutton. We'll retreat back to the bag. I think something got in the eye of Brett Mcgee. Appears to be good to go. Nobody out. Down by 4. Launched to right. Backtracking is Ochin to the wall. Cannot make the catch. They will hold the runner at third. It's a double for Mcgee following the single from Sutton. And there are 2 in scoring position with nobody out here in the comeback effort in the 8th inning.
Well, that ball fooled Ochin out there. That was Cary. That was hit really well. And I don't think that Ochin thought that it was hit that well. But it was zooming out to right field over his head because he didn't get on his horse to go back there right away. And he got fooled a little bit.
Well, no traditional double play to bail you out here. First base unoccupied, and you're getting right into the meat of the order. Here's Brandon Nickel, already an RBI single and a double today. And often a dominant closer throws strikes. Southern Arkansas is going to try to take advantage.
They get one more base runner. The potential tying run comes to the plate.
Nickel at the plate. 14 home runs this year coming into the week with 81 RBI. Already tacked on 1 today.
Trying to redeem himself after that throwing error he had at third base that led to an unearned run back in the 7th inning.
Chris Sutton standing on third. There's Brett Mcgee on second. 2 in scoring position. Trying to cut this deficit in half. And lays off the 0-2 that misses. Cole Hillier, your All-American closer, comes on. First 2 batters he faces, base hits. Trying to maintain the save and preserve the win for Jack Gonzalez, who went 6 innings tonight. Last 2 pitches off the mark. Drop third strike, 1 away. That'll bring up your cleanup hitter, Jacob Machuca, but today Jacob 0 for 3. Another look as Nickel down on strikes.
Yeah, that wasn't even close to being a strike, chasing it right there.
That wasn't full speed, by the way. So runner on third, still Sutton, Mcgee on second. And that might be the first time a batter does not see a first pitch strike from Hillier. Again, Machuca 0 for 3 today, all against starter Jack Gonzalez. I don't think anybody's thrilled to see an All-American closer, but perhaps welcomes a new look. This one is going to Cary, but foul.
Wow.
I was ready to pull a quote out from Major League of too high, but that just continued to go, but wide of the foul pole.
Boy, that was close. Wow. That was close. Steve's a whiskey with the call out there. No argument.
1-2 the count. I mean, this is the kind that just goes shooting into the air, and you figure it was going to die a good 30 feet short of the wall.
He was watching to see if it would stay fair.
We don't have time to play it all out. Barely had time to cover it live. 2-2. People are on the edge of their seats. You love it. 2 teams in pursuit of a national championship. Whoever wins this game is your favorite.
Yeah.
With apologies to North Greenville, one of these 2 teams is going to be set up with that extra day off.
And it's a Point Loma pitching staff that is a force to be reckoned with to begin with. If they get rest, it's going to even bode even better for them. They're second in the country in ERA. They've got some really good back-end relievers here.
Machuca 0 for 3 today. 2 on with 1 out. Full count to another hitter. Feel like more fans are moving down into the seats right behind home plate. Get as close of a look as possible. Ty Manning on deck right now. Only first base unoccupied. Got him looking. Rung him up. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cole Hillier. And Sutton and Mcgee still have to stay planted on third and second base respectively.
Good recovery by Hillier. Dropping that thing right on the corner to get the call for the strikeout. By the way, you mentioned being in the driver's seat, Point Loma. A team from the West has not won the national championship at the D2 level since 1999, Chico State.
Oh, were we dial-up modem back then or fax machine?
I'll tell you what, that's a long time ago for a team from the West region to win it all.
Maybe a dot matrix printer?
I think we had cell phones.
No.
Barely. Nextel.
91?
Razor phone?
That one's foul. Back to the task at hand. Chris Sutton on third, Brett Mcgee on second. They've been there and been unable to move after back-to-back strikeouts from Cole Hillier. Of the 3 and 4 hitters in this lineup, Ty Manning trying to exercise an 0 for 3 night with a clutch hit here. A couple of pop-outs to the shortstop and a strikeout on his resume today. Tucker Burton's on deck, just hoping to have a chance to come up this inning. Manning slowly inching closer to that batter's box as Cole Hillier is ready to go. 5th batter he's faced this inning here in the 8th. A 4-run lead. That one's going to skip away. It's a 3-run lead now. The runners finally get to move. Sutton comes home. First run for Southern Arkansas since back in the 3rd inning. And Brett Mcgee moves over to third base.
So the wild pitch, allowing that run to score, and it's just almost impossible to block that for Waterman with all that spin on it. That's a tough one.
So Sutton, who led off this inning with that single. Now McGee's on third after his double. All Southern Arkansas has really done is claw back that run. They gave up an inning back.
If he gets on, it really gets interesting because Burton has 20 home runs this year, and he would be the tying run at the plate.
Just like everybody else, Southern Arkansas buries their 20 home run hitter in the 6 hole. A 2-2 count to Ty Manning. One teammate on the base paths, 90 feet away. Got him. Back-to-back-to-back strikeouts for Cole Hillier. 1 run does leak home for Southern Arkansas. But the Mule Riders in the 9th will be down to their final 3 outs, needing to score at least 3. As Point Loma still riding high into the 9th. Point Loma scored those 4 runs in the 2nd inning and have never looked back. Southern Arkansas cut the deficit in half in that 3rd, but Point Loma would reestablish a 4-run lead. It's been trimmed to 3 now. Final chance for the Sea Lions to grab a little more breathing room. Santos Sosa back another inning in relief here in the 9th. Both teams have used 3 pitchers, both under different circumstances. This is Easton Waterman, 3 for 4 tonight with 3 singles and 2 runs scored. "15 pitches from Sosa so far in relief.
There have been over 270 pitches combined in this game.
Which one was your favorite?
That's a lot of pitches. A lot of base runners for Point Loma.
Well, 21 hits total, 14 for Point Loma, as they have stranded 11. And sometimes you really felt like it was going to cost them. It still could. And don't know if it's bugs or something else getting in the eyes of some of our hitters. 2-2. Waterman, Malone, and Dumont. A combined 6 for 9. Your 6, 7, and 8 hitters have scored 3 times. This was the part of the lineup that sparked that 4-run second inning. It began with Waterman. Sixth offering from Sosa this inning. Right back up the middle, it'll get through. It's a 4-for-5 day for Easton Waterman.
Wow, he's the first player with 4 hits in a game in this tournament this year.
Too soon to carry him off the field?
15 hits for Point Loma.
Yeah, let's see if he can avoid being the 12th man left on base.
Man, they have 26 hits in 2 games. Their batting average is going to be sky high as a team.
Here's Jack Malone, the freshman compared to Waterman, just a modest 500 hitter today. Malone had a single in that productive second inning. Had the bunt for a base hit in the 7th that caused some chaos. A little action in the Mule Rider bullpen. But for now, it's Sosa. And Malone digging back into his bag of dirty tricks, squaring around.
Point Loma is hitting .417 as a team in this game. I mean, yeah, the bunt here, I mean, he had the one earlier that turned into a base hit and an error, so why not? And if you could try to get the runner over to second, you wouldn't mind adding to the 3-run lead. You'd really like to. You want to feel more comfortable in that bottom of the 9th.
2-1. Machuca holding on Waterman. Will just now start straying off the bag. Nobody out, 1 on. Count 3-1. Really the only infielder cheating in is your third baseman, Nickel, in case Malone were to square around. Let's go Loma chant starts to build here in the 9th. And Loma goes. Waterman from first to third. They'll send him home. A big arm throws it into the infield. Play at third, not in time. It's an RBI triple from Jack Malone.
Well, that was off to the races when that ball made it into the corner. And Allen launched a throw into the infield, but there was no chance. Malone had an easy RBI triple. That was hit so hard past Machuca. He had no chance to field it. And when it gets all the way to the wall there, that gave Malone the opportunity to get to third.
Yeah, it's 3:30 down the line.
No need to slide, but you might as well do that for effect.
That'll look better on TikTok tomorrow. At the moment, Sosa, your third pitcher of the night, still in the ball game. We'll see if that changes here in a moment. 2 batters have come to the plate, a single and a triple for Point Loma, who's trying to recreate the second inning here in the 9th. They've already added back a run. For now, it's still Santos Sosa's ball game out there. See Chance Bolter, a sophomore.
Point Loma 3 hits shy of their season high. They had 19 in a game, or actually in 2 different games, I believe they've had 19.
Jason Dumont, it doesn't get any easier here with the 8-hole hitter. A single, a couple of walks, a sacrifice. They'll throw down behind the runner. How many times do we see that throw go into left field? There's so little to gain. You have, have to have the ultimate confidence there. Third batter of the inning. Nobody out. Count 1-1. It's Mcgee down to nickel at third. Everybody has to be on the same page. So often we see that ball hit off the base runner's helmet and carry him into the outfield or foul territory. And is the bottom half of the Point Loma lineup coming through. Your 6-hole hitter is 4 for 5 tonight. Your 7-hole hitter is 3 for 5.
In case you were thinking this was unusual for Point Loma, not really.
Joe, this seems unusual for Point Loma.
Well, this is the 8th time this year they've had 16-plus hits.
3-1, fought foul.
8 times. Most recently, May the 20th against Northwest Nazarene. You love that team. They had 17 against them.
The Nighthawks.
Yeah, we both love that team.
Out of Idaho, right?
Yes. They were here last year.
Coach Schaefer.
And they're all black unis.
Former coach of Point Loma. Ran into Point Loma this NCAA tournament. Malone on third after his RBI triple. Dumont just battling off pitches. Another payoff pitch coming his way. Is this deep enough? It drops for a base hit. My question was, will it be deep enough when it's caught in left to score the runner? Turned out it was deep enough to drop beyond the infield.
3 straight hits here against Sosa, adding insurance. And that ball was just plopped into left field. And the infield playing in, the shortstop Orr had no chance really to get there. He tried. And the same for Lyles, just found green grass.
And that will do it for Santos Sosa. A single, a triple, and a single here in the 9th. 2 more runs tallied by the Sea Lions. Still no outs to show for it. 4th pitcher of the night. Third man out of the bullpen for Conference Coach of the Year, Justin Pettigrew, is going to be Chance Bolter, the sophomore. 14th appearance this year for the sophomore. All in relief, a 4.0 ERA. Opposing hitters batting .296. He has performed well in the postseason this year in some pressure-packed situations. I don't know if this is a pressure-packed situation or if this is just eventually top of the 9th has to come to an end, and right now there are no outs to reflect the 3 batters who have already come up.
Hey, crazy things do happen. Remember, we mentioned it earlier that Southern Arkansas trailed by 5 entering the 9th inning in the Super Regional and scored 7 with 2 outs to win that game, so you never know.
Augustana remembers.
Yeah, that was to get here to the D2 championship.
All right, here's Isaiah Alvarez. Puts down a bunt, that's foul. He had the sac fly back in the 2nd inning. We mentioned this inning began the same way as the 2nd with the 6-hitter coming up and singling, followed by a base hit from Jack Malone. Both have scored. Dumont also, so just like that 2nd inning, 3 straight hits. Already a couple runs to show for it. Alvarez tonight 0 for 2 officially with that sac fly and a walk. Determined to get a bunt down, and that ball was not going to turn left. With that said, well, if you're Brett Mcgee, at that point there's no play to make. Might as well let that ball come to a halt and prove you correct.
That's 4 hits in a row, and now 18 in the game.
Top of the order, third baseman.
It's a tough decision for a catcher,
Yeah.
but at this point, you've decided to let it roll. There's no benefit to picking up that ball.
No, let it roll. I mean, he's not going to get him anyway. I don't know if we mentioned this before, but Southern Arkansas has won 10 in a row coming into this game. They have not lost a game since April the 30th, within danger of losing tonight.
So that's 4 straight base hits. And now the top of the order where it doesn't get any easier. Otto Kemp 2 for 4 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored.
So Point Loma 1 hit shy of their season high.
Only third base unoccupied, still nobody out. That was the 18th hit of the ball game for Point Loma. And they are giving, this is the second time they have increased that lead for their All-American closer before he returns in the 9th inning. They gave him an 8-1 lead on Saturday. At the moment, it stands 8-3. Could be more.
6 of the 9 players in the Point Loma lineup have a multi-hit game.
Not on the season, but tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah. That is a foul ball. It began with a single from Waterman. Jack Malone with the triple into the corner, an RBI. Jason Dumont single. He stands on second after the bunt single from Isaiah Alvarez. Second batter to face Chance Bolter is your top man in the order, Otto Kemp. A 2-2 offering. Could not lay off it. 1 away. 5 batters in, the first out recorded. A strikeout for Bolter.
The shortstop, Scott Anderson.
Man, that is a loopy pitch that he has going on in that at bat.
Great look from our guys. First pitch off the mark to Scott Anderson. Scott 1 for 5 today. Batting average still at .315. Had a 2-run double back in the second. That's a fair ball. No, it's not. It's a foul ball right at the last second. As our umpires lock eyes.
We've had some close calls in this game as far as fair ball, foul ball. And that one went just to the left of the bag.
For them, that's a slam dunk. My eyes betrayed me from our vantage point. Those guys were on top of it.
Scott Wyckoff on the call.
The 1-1. I got news for you, Joe. If Chance Bolter has it his way, your guy, Hunter Ochen's going to be stuck in the on-deck circle when the third out's recorded. He's your cleanup hitter right now. It's the 2-hitter, Scott Anderson.
We got plenty of Ochen views to go in this tournament.
2-2. Single, triple, single, single. Strikeout. 1 out with 2 on. Right side, Machuca. 2 away. Both runners advance. And here's Baxter Halligan. Slow start to the ball game, 0 for 3 before now singles in his last 2 at-bats.
Baxter Halligan.
Dumont on third, Alvarez on second. Hoping not to be your 12th and 13th runners left on base. With that said, Point Loma has added 2 to the lead. Their largest advantage of the night, up by 5. First pitch in there for a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, he's throwing it in the 70s as far as velocity.
Again, Bolter, the 4th pitcher used tonight. Southern Arkansas, like Point Loma, neither has tasted a loss yet this week, but the Mule Riders have been chasing throughout tonight's ball game. Just haven't been able to rope those back feet yet.
He's going to work around Halligan here and try to go up against Ochin to go righty-righty. Halligan just has to be disciplined here and not chase anything away.
Up by 5. Count 2-2.
Looked like a good pitch to hit right there.
Bolter's retired the last 2 batters, a strikeout and a ground out. Six, 7, and 8 hitters led off this inning for Point Loma. 6, 7, and 8 hitters will be due up for Southern Arkansas. Able to lay off it. Count goes full. Now runners won't necessarily be set in motion. First base is unoccupied. But a payoff pitch with 2 outs here. Bolter on the mound, Halligan at the plate.
They put the second baseman Sutton way out in the outfield again like they did earlier.
Here in the 9th inning, the payoff pitch. Ball 4. Base is loaded for Hunter Ochin, who will be the 8th batter this inning.
The right fielder, Hunter Ochin.
Camera awareness by our fans now.
180 pitches for Southern Arkansas hurlers.
Violating that 4th wall.
Man.
Pitch inside to Ochin.
That'd be like 2 games worth for Greg Maddox.
How many RBI walks do you think Hunter Ochin has in his career?
0.
Dumont on third, Alvarez on second. Each with singles. Halligan on first with his walk. Ochin was bailing out there, and then no chance to put the bat on that one for strike 1.
What hurts more, his hand or his leg when he slams it? Or he doesn't feel anything, I guess.
Base is loaded already with a 5-run lead. This will get down for more. Ochin comes through, shooting it down the line. Dumont and Alvarez have scored. They will send Halligan as well. It is a bases loaded, bases clearing, 3-run double from Hunter Ochin.
Man, he just rifled that ball in the right field. I mean, he gets excited at the slightest positive play, and he was really pretty pumped up about that.
Well, get excited then, as Hunter Ochin has all but put the Sea Lions into that 2-0 bracket.
He is fun to watch.
You can only imagine what the other side of his head was doing.
When Justin James, the head coach of Point Loma, told us that he's crazy, that was an understatement. There's other words that could be used to describe him that are probably more accurate.
Well read.
Well, he said spark plug too, and that's a little more accurate, I think.
Jacob Christian, a home run back in the 5th.
Unhinged, maybe?
Easy.
That was a terrible movie. There's a movie you don't want to see, Unhinged with Russell Crowe. Oh, my gosh.
Well, mission accomplished.
Okay.
Are you not entertained?
Not as much as watching Ochin.
9th batter this inning, Jacob Christian.
Is this the first real crooked number in this tournament? I think so.
Well, they put up 4 in the 2nd, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
They put up 5 here in the 9th. Both innings began with the number 6 hitter, and the bottom of the order coming through. The rest of this appears to be just icing. Three runs batted in on that double from Hunter Ochin, clearing the bases. Two balls, 2 strikes to Christian with 2 outs.
Seriously, what's Ochin going to do in the 2 days off? He's not going to be relaxing anywhere.
We've got an extra headset.
He's definitely going to be hitting in the cage a lot.
Himself?
Maybe he'll step in front of some pitches in the cage just for fun.
Full count. Jacob Christian.
Maybe he'll go to an acupuncturist. Seems like a guy who just needs a little pain every once in a while.
Ochin on second, bases loaded. A full count, pardon me, base loaded. Full count. And there's the 3rd out. Bolter with his 2nd strikeout, but it was not the 9th inning that the Mule Riders had hoped for. Door is not completely closed. Heck, if they want to walk it off in the 9th, they're welcome to. But a hill of a comeback has become a mountain here in Cary. They now trail by 8. It is not over. Bottom of the 9th. And just how valuable is winning a coin flip to be the home team? We're about to find out. Southern Arkansas. The deficit swells by 5 runs in that top of the 9th. Here's Tucker Burton, 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts, facing Cole Hillier for the first time. Burton was the last man to face the starter. Jack Gonzalez still in line for the win. This was never a save situation for Hillier, who came in with a 4-run lead. Already has a save this week, though. But what a top of the 9th. 9 batters come to the plate. 5 score for Point Loma. And if you're Cole Hillier, you're just hoping your defense can back you up if maybe you opt to throw some darts.
And the pitching staff for Point Loma, they've had 9 strikeouts and just 1 walk.
That walk was to the 2nd batter of the ball game. Out of play, count still 1-2.
So if you're thinking about manufacturing a rally, maybe by getting some walks, think again.
You're more likely to be hit by pitch. Burton a ground out and a couple of strikeouts.
Just thinking about what Coach James told us about how the team that plays more like themselves, the quickest, is the team that wins in this tournament. That's what he thought because he's been here as a pitching coach before. I'd say that Point Loma's been playing like themselves the first 2 games.
Scored 8 runs in that first win, 11 here. That's going to be squeezed in by Isaiah Alvarez. Look, you probably feel like you're playing with house money out there, but with a lead, why not take the little extra gamble? Pays off.
He had everything flying off his head, his cap, his sunglasses. And he made a really nice play on Burton, sliding at the end of that one.
That's now just 2 outs to work with for Southern Arkansas.
I was going to say a little yard sale with the cap flying and the sunglasses.
Chris Lyles also trying to reach base for the first time. Well, here's the difference between this game and the game we had earlier. The game earlier was an elimination game. Whoever loses here, it'll be a disappointment, but they still get to play baseball again this week.
On Wednesday against Rollins, a team that has had some good pitching.
Yeah, Rollins started to pick up some steam today. Don't count out a team that survives the South.
Definitely went around.
Yep, and an 0-2 hole now.
And these 2 teams could have a rematch on Thursday because if Southern Arkansas gets by Rollins, and we're assuming that they don't come back here, then they would have a rematch with Point Loma.
Yeah, it almost feels like a best-of-3 game series where, in theory, Point Loma has won this first game. Anderson to Christian. It'll be close. And the ball comes out on the exchange from glove to hand, 2 away. It's a slim window to come back now for the Mule Riders and avoid that elimination game. Another look at how close it was. Got him. And then right here is where that ball would come out. Point Loma's got to figure out what they're going to do for the next 2 days. Out to right. And of course, it's Hunter Ochin who will secure the out as the Sea Lions of Point Loma are your first team to 2-0 in Cary.
Wow. You might have to nickname them the Hit Lions while they're in Cary because 19 hits today, 11 in the first game, 30 hits in the first 2 games. This team is rolling. They win by 7 the first game. They win by 8 today. Ochin is definitely the energy leader on the team. Definitely gives off a lot of energy. And 2 days off for this team, that helps them preserve their pitching staff. They look like the team to beat right now. Of course, other teams will have something to say about it, but they're in really good shape after 2 games.
Jack Gonzalez goes 6 innings for his 10th win of the year, and for Point Loma, after 11 wins in total last season, they've just picked up win number 50. The target is 52. Find that 52nd win at the end of this week, and it'll be the Sea Lions taking a national title back to the West Coast. For Joe Castellano, I'm Lincoln Rose. Big thanks to our entire NCAA.com crew. We're back at it tomorrow, same formula, an elimination game at 1:30 Eastern tomorrow, a winner's bracket contest tomorrow night. But enjoy this one while it lasted. You're not going to see those Sea Lions for a little bit. They have the next 2 days off to soak this one in, and what a ball game it proved to be as the Sea Lions hand Southern Arkansas their first loss of the week, 11-3 your final here in Cary, North Carolina.